This is it, people. This is what you've been waiting for. This is Everyday Celebrity Podcast. The podcast for everyday people with everyday problems, trying to find everyday solutions to accomplish everyday goals. Let's start the show. Welcome to another episode of Everyday Celebrity Podcast, number one podcast in Oakland, number one podcast in the Bay Area. This is the host, number one host in the Bay Area, Jordan Awande, and today we have a special guest. Sorry, y'all, I've been drinking a little bit, but we have a special guest. Y'all must have heard his voice before, but he was on a prior episode, but during that prior episode, I realized that this man needs his own episode because I feel like the people will want to know his specific story. So welcome Ace to the show.
Hey, handsome Ace serving massive bass. It's not a sob story, it's just my story.
So before we started this podcast, you said you were on a bender. You want to explain to the people?
Oh man, like a real gremlin lifestyle. Gremlins don't need sleep. I take pride in knowing that my hours of operation are from 8 p.m. to 8 a.m. I live a very nocturnal lifestyle. Simply because I've just always felt a little bit more comfortable at night. Ever since I was a kid, I don't know, it was like me and my mom not having a car, so we're always like walking in the streets. And I grew up like all over like Arizona, Sacramento, Bay Area. I'm just used to always walking at night specifically, so I just feel comfortable.
So was your mom a single mother?
You know, the cool part about like
speaking in the mic,
yes, sir.
Lift the thing up to your mouth.
Yeah. So not to too personalized, right? My parents they gave me like game, and to say that I grew up in a two parent household, that would be incorrect. I did have a stepmother. I did have a real mother, and my mom, she was heavily addicted to crack cocaine.
Your real mom?
Correct. My birth mother. And because of that, I do consider myself a drug war veteran. The effects that, not having your parent in the household, it definitely like put a real strain on what I actually, saw as like, traditional family values. So that's why, it was really like, I know I'm going on tangents that I want to.
No, go ahead.
But since, we brought up Lama, we were already talking about family, right? Not having moms around or sparingly, or, she's outside, it definitely just literally forced me to kind of be a little bit more independent at the same time too.
So when you were growing up, your father raised you?
That's correct. Yeah, I was raised by a man. Yeah.
And your stepmoms?
That's correct. Yeah.
Okay.
He was there from like fifth grade until I graduated high school.
Brothers and sisters?
I do have a brother, older, from Philadelphia, brother from another mother, and a younger sister. She's awesome. She's a UCLA grad. Are you
the only person who has that same mom and dad?
Yeah, me and my sister, that's correct. Yeah.
So you and your sister have the same mom and dad?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how younger is she?
She's 3 years younger than me.
Oh, 3 years? Okay. So when you were growing up, where were you growing up at?
Let's see. So I grew up
in Oakland?
You know what, man? Shit. Hey, man, we was all over. All over. But
where did you spend the majority of your childhood?
Well, that's you know what they say. Niggas is always moving or we never leave, and I definitely I fit the latter. It was packed bag. So I grew up for a long time in Arizona, Phoenix.
Okay.
My dad, he was the hottest club manager at the Roxy. So I kind of got that.
So partying is just in your goddamn blood.
Yeah, it is. It is. Like you can't run where you come from. That like when I stopped doing that made things a lot easier. When I just started embracing things that are just gonna come more natural to me as opposed to going to like the corporate 9 to 5.
Yeah.
What about 8 p.m. to 8 a.m.? Anyway.
So he was a club manager at the Roxy, and that was like one of the hottest clubs in Arizona during that time.
The hottest club. Like I asked the Phoenix Suns, asked Sacramento's former mayor, asked King Charles. They know who Rick Howerton is, aka Lil L.
Does your dad have any stories of Kevin Johnson, the governor?
Former mayor of Sacramento.
The former mayor of Sacramento. Does your dad have any stories of him doing coke in the bathroom with the white bitches?
We don't show and tell. We
no.
We keep everything close. Like,
damn, you can't give me an exclusive, nigga.
Oh man, we don't. We would. Nah, man. KJ.
I was joking.
KJ, he play on the court. He don't play with his nose.
Shit. If he was fucking around with Charles Barkley, he was playing. Charles Barkley was playing with his nose back in those days.
Hey, he was trying to get him to the church after they went to the strip club. He told me he had to get him to church.
That's why that nigga was so wild back in the days. Now he's like some honky tonk. But anyway, so dad was a club manager.
Correct. That's where he met my mom.
Oh, that's where he met your mom.
Met my mom at the club.
Okay. Okay. And how long were they together? Were they ever married?
Nah, no sir. Nah, they never did fully tie the knot. You know, they had 2 kids, but no ring.
So when your mom had you both, were they still together? Or did they break up after like?
You know what's funny? Like the first memories that I do have of us being a family in Arizona, that it was the traditional 2-parent household. It really was. Like as a child, it was kind of really dope. Like I had my own room. Let's see what else. Like I was going to private school at that time as well. Oh yeah. Big chilling, you know. Dad's club manager, mom she's like security. They own the dry cleaner. So yeah, it was definitely family oriented in the beginning, but. You know, shit.
Were they partying when you were growing up?
It's that life in the 90s, yo. It's a fast.
So
life.
they were like leave you guys at home while they go out and shit.
Nah. It was never like leave at home, but you know we gonna keep an RNS at the same time. As I did get older, when they did split, that's when it was like, yo, where the fuck this my like you feel like oh like you like wake up like you know now we're like living in Northern California. It's like yeah, where's the fuck's my mom? You know, but nobody's perfect.
So your parents left each other, and your dad automatically got possession of you two?
No, sir. No, I was living with me and my sister living with my mom for like a cool few years. But
where was this at? In Phoenix still?
Nah. This is this started off in Oakland.
Okay.
Little in Berkeley.
So you guys left Phoenix and then came with your moms to the Bay
Area. And then eventually, you know, home, Sacramento.
Did she have family out here or something? That's why?
That's correct.
Okay.
Yeah. Like, I have like a lot of family in Sacramento.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yes.
And this was early 90s or late 90s?
This is we're talking to. Like, remember, I was in Arizona for a minute. It's like for 7. I remember when the first episode of SpongeBob came out, and I had my own TV. You know, so that was like, you know, that's and the kid 90s, like early 2000s going into the 90s, like that was a big ass deal. Have your own TV,
nigga. When you came, nigga, no, it wasn't because I had my own TV when I was young, nigga, and I'm way older than you. I know that.
What you mean?
It was a black and white TV.
See what I had color. See, I had a private school day with a color TV. You feel me? And my own room.
I mean, I did have my own. My dad had a big ass house, and there was only 3 of us in that motherfucker. But anyway,
in Philly, correct?
Yeah, but he had a ranch. He had a ranch in like Southern California too. That's the house I'm talking about. It was a big ass house.
What part of SoCal?
This was like LA County, like Palmdale, Lancaster area.
Hey,
like in the Mojave.
5 and 2 zigzags. Yeah, I know about
yeah, he had a huge like it was damn near like a pig farm basically. But nigga, stop asking. You don't ask me questions on this podcast. Everyone knows it. But anyway,
flip the script real quick.
So you guys migrated to Berkeley, and this was you didn't say the years. This was when
Berkeley, Oakland. We're bouncing around like we are.
Yeah, but when you first came here from Phoenix, you came straight to Berkeley, right?
Off top.
And this was when
we were bouncing. Yeah.
This was when, like, what year?
What would I say? Like this would have had to been like around like 2002. You know.
Okay, 2002.
But remember, we're bouncing around. Like we at this person's couch for a little bit, and then you know we being baby kids breaking niggas' windows. So now we gotta leave. And
were you in middle school?
Hell no, I was like, what was I? I was this was late elementary, going into
elementary school.
Okay. Yeah, later elementary. Like I said, child.
And bouncing around, were you like? I mean, you're a child, so you don't really
Did you really know what was going on, or you were just like, oh shit?
That shit was fun.
So you wasn't really thinking about it.
Hell, because it was kind of getting real. So I was like, all right, like my dad, he hits me up, calls me, and he would be communicating with me whole time. But yeah, now that was the instability isn't necessarily like an issue as an adult, because it's just like, oh, we hang out with this friend, and oh, we were with this friend, oh, it's
But your dad was still trying to stay in your
my
life
dad was getting it together. He was like, because he's like LeVar, what the fuck is where's my daughter? What is my son? He's like, oh nah. So eventually we had to now we had to come back to SAC, and that's where I spent essentially the teenage years, later teenage years, and
you were living in SAC with your moms.
Yeah, for the first part. Yeah.
And when did you start noticing your mom's had a drug issue?
Yeah, so let's see. I'll never fucking forget this, man. This is damn near one of the worst days of my fucking life, right? And essentially, and it's ironic because that was essentially the last day I ever lived with my mom, and the first day I officially moved in with my dad, right? Dad picked me up to go to McDonald's. You feel me? This is back when McDonald's was the shit. And I would get the Mighty Kids meal. You get a double burger with a toy. So I was in my element, right? I was smooth. And so I already had in my head, I'm finna chill with Pops. We're gonna grub out. And then when I go back, I'm about to play my little PlayStation, Grand Theft Auto. I was allowed to play all type of fucking games as a kid. They didn't shield me from shit. They was like, yo, this is the world. This is what it is. You pick that shit up quick, right? Vámonos. You feel me? Just disagree. It's just oh shit, where's this lady at? So yeah, that was the last time. Yeah, I lived with my dad. He was like, all right, well, time to go.
So wait. So you were with your dad. Your dad went to drop you guys off, and they couldn't find your moms.
Oh shoot, nowhere to be seen.
Damn.
RNS.
So he had no choice but to take you guys with him.
Oh, it wasn't. It was just all right, well.
and then, well, from that point to when was this next time you saw her? From then to when? How long?
Now it was very infrequently, in the sense of sometimes I'll see her every couple of weeks.
No. What I'm saying, from that day when from the McDonald's trip, and he came and she wasn't there. Yeah. When was the next time you see her? Did it take weeks, days, what?
For surely it was later that week, I was just where were we? And she's like, oh yeah, I was out, I love you, I'll see you later.
So your mom was like, you guys can just stay with your dad.
Oh yeah, it wasn't even it was she had a choice. It was just my dad was like, yo, you live with me now.
Okay.
Yeah, it was just yo.
And your mom never tried to fight and get you guys back?
Fight for what?
Take him to court, because how court.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You can be a drug addict woman and still get custody of the goddamn kids nowadays. They don't never get the kids to the dad.
Oh man, it was it was funny. Bitterness, jealousy, petulance. That could have really destroyed a strong my dad's just a strong black man, but nah, that none of that never happened. She was essentially she was that was really the best. She was kind of so far gone, she didn't even try to push that issue. And honestly, between low resources and ailing drug addiction, she knew what was up. She's Rick's gonna take care of the kids.
Yeah.
And she was pissed at first, when my stepmom came into the picture, but eventually, they became really good friends.
So you went back to Phoenix?
Hell nah.
Where was your dad at this time when he took custody of you guys?
He said, he's like, well, y'all are in Kevin Johnson's, prestigious charter school program. This is where y'all gonna stay. My auntie, she taught at that school. Yeah, she was my teacher. And the superintendent. So
he moved.
Oh yeah, no, yeah. He's Sacramento. He's all right, this is what it is. Yeah, I'm gonna stay in Sac because y'all have your mom's family here.
Well, shout out to your dad, nigga.
Oh yeah.
A lot of black fathers don't get the respect that they goddamn deserve out here, because you have all these women podcasts and all they do is bash men, and I'm like, yo,
come on now, speak on it, guys.
If you hate men so much, why are you dating us? Why are you fucking us? And all this other shit. You're not a lesbian, but everything you say out your mouth is negative about men. But anyway, that's a little rant. That's a little 5-minute rant.
Don't put the man on the papers. Put the man back in the family. So that's what I you need polarity.
So what high school did you end up going to, and what was high school like for you?
Oh man, I went to Sacramento Charter, aka Sac High. Post like I went there like post St. Hope Charter program. So it was uniforms on deck. If your ass so much as wore red or blue, that was like essentially like that you were now in contention to possibly be on a gang retention list.
So like uniforms, like some Fresh Prince of Bel-Air shit?
Oh no, it wasn't nothing fresh about this. This shit was like straight like polos and khakis.
Okay.
Oh no, it wasn't
like normal uniforms.
Fresh blazer. Oh, none of that. Some like there was some administration that was like, why are our students not wearing more? But it was like, yo, this like here's a purple polo. Mm-hmm. That's why like even now like I like purple is a color of royalty.
It's a trigger to you.
Man, that shit, it's just locked down to me. It's just straight up like total dictatorship.
I mean, purple is royalty because I mean the Israelites, the fucking
correct.
You know them niggas, the IUIC.
The niggas that be outside the Brooklyn Nets Stadium.
Yeah, that's their colors, purple and gold.
I got a message.
All right, so yeah, so what type of student were you in high school?
Oh, phenomenal! Like my dad was like he did not play that shit. He was straight up like, all right, so look. If you so much as come home with anything less than a 3.5, I'm whooping your ass. Like it was just like, it was and one time I came home with a 3.49, like just like this, and this teaches you accountability, right? Yeah. Like he was like, what the fuck is this? Like, you know, like the next day, right? Talked to like 2 teachers, turned in like 2 assignments, kind of like, you know, had to give a wink, a little smile. Like the next day it was already like at a 3.7. So yeah, you got to be held accountable because like results do matter. I was a phenomenal student because school was never really necessarily difficult because I was able to like retain a lot of memory, retain a lot of information through like memory and just having good decorum with teachers because like, so in high school, because I went to all black high school, so that guy is like, what, 85% African American, like 10% Latino, and then like I know that's and then like what 5% other, where that'd be like, you know, 1 white kid, couple Hmong. That's like really big in the Sacramento community. Even though it wasn't very prevalent at Sac High, there still is like a large Hmong Asian community within Sacramento. And yeah, that was life. That was life for 4 years. Super straight edge too, because I was an athlete. Played football. I was all right, you know. Like this shit is dangerous. Phenomenal weightlifter though. I was like number 1 in the nation at one point.
So the situation with your mother being addicted to drugs, that didn't affect you at any way? Like you didn't get depressed or anything in school?
Oh man, so like as far as that, like like my dad was like very keen on saying like, yo, nothing stops the show. Like, yeah, like what she's going through there, that's on her. So what are you going to do about it? Like you got your life to live. Like we have our family here. So, you know, like it is real. Like he didn't disregard it, but he's like, that's not a fucking excuse. This is what's going on. So you gotta get through it. So, yeah, nah, essentially like what was it? Like, yeah, like for like the majority of really all middle school, and until the end of high school, right? But it got kind of fun. I had no real communication with my mom. Yeah. But at the end, right? She got an apartment in the Carter. So in Sacramento, right? There's this hood in Fruit Ridge. It's a project that they nicknamed the Carter because it is ATL, aka about that life. You feel me? Like Macramento. You'll see young niggas like, you know, running in the game 10 toes down. Little niggas like, you know, with the sticks, little badass baby kids.
That dangerous,
like,
huh?
Oh man, it's that life. It's that, but it was love because like I finally got to like, you know, hang out with my mom. So yeah, I would be posting in it. Like, so like my dad, he like we're living in the South Side too, you know, but my dad, he like I said, very like we live across the street from a school. So like I had this lovely theory, right? You could live you could live in a bad neighborhood, but that doesn't mean that you live in the bad spot. That doesn't mean you live in like, you know, in the Scuddy zone, right? There's, you know,
you can live in East Oakland, but you don't live in Sobrani.
You feel me? Like, you know, you stay in the East, but you don't stay in the deep East. So my mom, she was living in that part of that section of that neighborhood, but it didn't matter because, you know, I got to see her and I kind of just like, she was an OG, you feel me? Like, you know, AKA probably a lawyer customer. So yeah, I didn't know one fuck with her, and everyone knew not to fuck with me. And plus I kind of kept to I was, you know, athlete. I wasn't involved in any shit. It wasn't out. I was inside.
What was hanging out in that area where your mom was? Did that where you learned all your street smarts?
Nah, that was more like my father just kind of always instilling like critical thing, you know, like how to he would speak to me like every day, and I couldn't just be like.
Well, your father can teach you some shit, but being out there in the streets of Southside Chicago, hanging out with them niggas, and being in East Oakland, where you're actually on the block, seeing shit go down, and hanging with niggas who actually put in that type of work, that's different. You know what I'm saying? You
know what, and to get, you know what is so funny, I love that you made that say. I really don't get that authentic experience, ironically, until I come back to Berkeley. I know it's all right, like, because I am saying Berkeley, but I also do mean the Bay. Like, that's when, like, oh yeah, because I'm no longer living like a very structured I like my dad, he had to take us to work because he was a pharma tech at Kaiser and Sutter. So like we had to wake up like at 5 a.m., catch the ride, and then we're waiting like outside school lock 6 a.m. And then I'm there until, because of football and weightlifting practice, you know, simultaneously, or, you know, switching. Like I'm there literally from like 6 a.m. to like 7 p.m. Like dead ass. Cause school ended at 4 p.m. and high school ended at 4 p.m. So yeah, then afterwards I go to weightlifting practice. And I work out for like 2.5 hours. You stretch, maybe shoot the shit, you know, trying to knock something, but then get your ass on the bus, go home.
Is your mom still alive?
No, sir. Man, I'm gonna be an ink baby. I don't know where the camera's at. Nah, man.
When did she pass?
She passed during my 4th year of undergrad, 2017. So she never got to see me graduate. She never got to, you know, see what career prospects I might have got into. Yeah. And like I said, all through high school, I saw her, majority of my childhood, I saw her sparingly. And then she got really sick. She got just actually lost any real, real telepathy. Like she couldn't communicate. Everything was in.
Did she have like a stroke or something?
Nah, man. It was like a brain tumor.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But through the heavy years of drug use and tuberculosis that she also had, it was just a mess. And then I really did I always kind of hoped, I always romanticized that, you know, as I was coming through college and as I was you know, in the Bay, I was going to be able to you know, be a provider. We were going to be able to have this you know, unbreakable bond, because I would be able to be around more, but it did not come into full fruition. So that's always one thing I kind of I'm always gonna have a little chip on me about.
Yeah, I mean that's understandable, but I mean that's something that you couldn't control. No one controls when someone passes, you know. I mean, there's a whole story about when my dad passed. Yeah, I don't feel like. I mean, I could. I'll get into it. I was visiting.
Yeah,
and then my dad. I didn't get along with my dad. I hated that nigga. But I was visiting. Came to see him. See some friends and shit. And then I didn't have no car out there, right?
Yeah.
Because I flew out there. So I was like, I need to get to the airport in the morning. I was like, yo, can you take me? He was like, no, I can't. So I was like, all right, well, I'm going to go spend the night at my man's house, and he's going to take me. And then he was like, yo, I want you to stay. I don't want you to leave. I was like, nigga, I'm not staying here. I'm bouncing. I'm going to go chill with my boys. So I left, right? Later on that night, my brother calls me in the middle of the nighttime. He was like, yo, Pops is dead. And I was like, what? It was shocking to me, but it wasn't shocking. But it was shocking because the nigga was old as fuck. And I thought he was going to live forever. Because he was old, plus he was alcoholic. So all he did was drink. And I was like, yo, you drank that much and you're in your late 80s and you're still alive? That's crazy to me. So I thought he was going to live for a long time. At least till in his 90s.
Yeah.
So my brother calls me in the middle of the night, said Pops is dead. I was like, oh shit. I was shocked. And then so I go back over there. My man takes me over there. His dead body is literally laying on the ground because my brother didn't call the ambulance. My brother was just chilling. I don't know why, but I go in there, the dead body on the ground. I'm like, oh shit. And I never cry at all. Never in my life. People say that's a problem for me because I rarely show emotion. And that was like, this happened in 2004 when my pops died. And that's the last time I cried was in 2004. And it's 2022. The last time I cried was seeing, because it was like when you can hate someone, but like I didn't like my dad. But when I saw his dead body on the ground, I don't know, just like something just clicked. And then I just randomly started crying. But that was the last time I ever cried, was in 2004 when I saw his dead body. So me telling that story is basically saying, because when I said the nigga asked me to stay, I think he wanted me to stay because now that I think about it, I think he was asking me to stay because he felt something that like something was wrong with him, and he wanted me to stay in case I can just drive him to the hospital or some shit. It's like something went down. But my dad was just like, he was non-emotional. That's why I'm like this, because the nigga didn't show no emotion growing up. Never hugged him, never said I love you. He was African, so African parents are like non-emotional, like a motherfucker.
Which country though, sir?
Swaziland.
Swaziland. All right. That's
Swaziland / like Ghana area, and Ghana also. Okay. So fucking so he was like that, and so he wasn't going to say, yo, son, I need you to stay because I feel sick. That was never going to come out of his mouth, because he was one of them niggas who, like, if you showed him much, he'll probably slap you in the face. Like, nigga, shut up, stop crying, be a man.
Feel me?
He would do that. He was that type of dad.
There's like, not to, but like I do love like when men hold each other like accountable, to have like a certain toughness. Like when men hold each other to have a certain amount of toughness, bravado, and decorum that doesn't like, where you like, because emotions do matter and you should express yourself, but in the sense of masculinity, right? You need to be able to control your emotions. Like, so I can respect that sentiment coming. Like,
and I only say that because I couldn't, there's no way for me to know that that's why he was telling me to stay, because there was no way to know that he was sick or feeling bad. So I can feel bad and second guess myself, but I can't feel like it's my fault that the nigga passed. And I think that's why I'm telling you this story, because what you told me, I think that's what you were trying to get at. Like, you felt like there was something that you could have done to prevent her from passing.
I do, because so during that time, right? This is like undergrad, college years, where like all that like practice regimen, the strict like uniform policies, like, and now I'm back in B-town, like that shit is just out the window. Like I am outside now, like for real. Like I live in a castle. I'm not joking either. So right by the California Memorial Stadium.
So this is, I don't mean to interrupt. So that was phase one of your life. This is we're gonna break it down in phases. So this is phase two. College years. So you're in college. Continue.
Fun 5 years. We like, and you come in like so green. You come in like Pinocchio going to like asshole island, because everything is just like in abundance. It's just like, go out to this party, go out to this bar, go out to this concert. You don't gotta take class on Friday, right? So this is like,
tell the people what school you were going to.
UCB, University of California, Berkeley.
Okay.
You were 21 Jump Street. I got into Berkeley, so fuck it, I went. Yeah, I was like, I knew it was gonna be. Like, I was like, yeah, I know. Like, I got people in there. Like that's the Bay.
What other schools did you apply for?
So I was so deep into weightlifting that I didn't even want to go to college. I wanted to go to the Olympic Training Center to pursue my dreams as an Olympian, because I was already on Team USA, and like essentially if the offer had just came like a week sooner, I could have seriously like took the auditions and steps just to have a weightlifting career.
Because I was looking at your Instagram and I was like, damn, this nigga was toned in, yo. So you were into weightlifting before you even went to college.
Correct. Yeah,
I was in high school too.
Yeah, I won a national championship. I was number 1 in the nation. I was on Team USA, and like we actually had a so when you make Team USA, now you have to go to Colorado Springs and you have to train there, right? And now you have a mock meet where it's like it's all of Team USA, and it's all and everyone's doing their best lifts. It's a mock competition. This
is Team USA, like weightlifting team.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah. Team USA is a Olympic style weightlifting team. Oh yeah, like the main dude who like would have won the tournament, he decided to drop out. Oh yeah, I fucking cleaned house. I was literally number 1 in the nation coming out of that camp.
So but these were all high school kids, right?
I mean,
were you on the team with grown men?
It's the 18 under team for men.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's the youth team for men. That's correct.
Yeah, because I was thinking like you were in like the Olympics that niggas are on TV and shit.
No, I didn't make the Olympics. I did not. It's very hard. And like honestly, like Team USA, Olympic weightlifting, like yeah, they need 2 doctors.
So the 18 and under Olympic team.
Correct. Yeah. But it's still Team USA. Like you're at the same facilities as all the Olympians train.
Yeah, and it's still like, Olympics.
Yeah, this is that. It's like you are training to be an Olympian, and you are on Team USA. Now, is it the youth team? It is, but now you are.
And you won.
The mock meet. That's correct. So I won the national championship in Dearborn, Michigan. Like Ithaca, Illinois. Like it was some Hoboken ass Midwest place, right? But I didn't like. I was like, this is like me going into rising senior after my junior year. This is when like essentially like, you know, the 2008 housing market crash, dad's in and out of jobs. It's 4 of us, my daddy, sister, stepmama, me in the 1 bedroom. Dad got another job coming back. I really did have that, what's that called? Hoop dreams. I had lift hopes, you feel me? So I was like, bet, man, I'm about to run this shit, right? And like, what was it? I looked at the stats. I was like, fuck it. I'm gonna cut weight. Right. This is the first time I cut weight. So ironically, my freshman year, I was the same size as my senior year because I decided, all right, I'm going to stay in this weight class. We're going to go for a championship run because I was on one of the most prestigious weightlifting clubs and really in the country, but in Northern California, it's known. It's 2 parts. So Sacramento Charter has theirs and Lincoln High School has theirs taught by the Doherty brothers. And like, that's just what they do. They just keep reloading. They literally put a girl in the Olympics this past one. Yeah. From Tonga. So Hasselfree does like the team that I was on, they actually did put an Olympian.
Was it a woman or a trans woman?
You know what's funny? I think she competed. You're talking about Hubbard. I think like technically my clubmate. You feel me? Like you know, future clubmate. I think they were actually in the same weight division and whooped her ass.
Damn.
Because she didn't qualify. She didn't make a lift. Tough titties.
All right. So, but you were playing football as well, right?
Yeah. See, the thing about
why did you choose weightlifting over football?
It's very simple. Like my coach is a beast, right? He's the current coach for Folsom High School. Last year they made the state championship, and this year they just made the semifinals. I know they're gonna clean house. Like I know they're gonna take the full state. It hasn't happened yet, but Doherty, he's gonna get the job done, aka P Diddy, right? Yeah, my weightlifting coach was my football coach. So essentially, unless you had like a medical condition or like or he just kind of understood that like, it was like, nah, you're at like my weightlifters are my football players. It was just kind of, it was just that kind of clear cut. So I was like, oh man, it was like gave full effort, had a lot of fun playing football, a lot of camaraderie, but like, you know, like we would get bounced after the first round. I was like, oh darn, like guess it's back to the weight. I was like back to the weight, you know, and I would just, start doing super squats, just to get back in shape.
So you applied to UC Berkeley and what other colleges?
So just to kind of break that down, you get a fee waiver, right? So you get I got the, you know, when you're from a disadvantaged background within the California education system, you can apply for 4 CSUs, that's California State Universities, and 4 UCs, right? So you get a fee waiver for 8 because like applying to college, that shit. So those are the 8 schools that I applied to because that's part of SAC High.
Which is crazy. You got to have money just to apply to these goddamn schools.
Off top.
Yeah, continue.
These are the business.
I'm just letting these niggas in Singapore who listen to this know what the fuck's going on in America. But continue your story.
Oh yeah, blessed through the finesse, right? So yeah, I got my 4 CSU waivers. I got my 4 UC waivers. So I applied to all 4 CSUs, and we had really good college counselors, by the way. It was the Marks family. Ivy League educated. They are some of like the most thoughtful, like well-to-do, like care totally about like the progression of all high schools. They are phenomenal. They deserve like the Nobel Peace Prize award. Like it ain't no type of white savior. Like those are just good ass folks who just care. Like when you talk about like St. Hope Charter Program, like that last, like they are literally gonna make sure like you don't have to go to the military. You know, you don't have to like if CC is the best for you, or you know if you're ready for the UC, they're pushing you to the top. Love them. Anyway, so essentially, yeah, I applied. Like, I got into every single school that I applied to except UCLA. I got waitlisted, and I got into UC Berkeley. So you know.
Did you apply to USC?
You know, I didn't apply to any private schools.
Oh, no?
I only applied to public schools because it was a fee waiver. And I who knows? Like I said, you literally had to apply to colleges. You had to, or else you couldn't graduate high school. Yeah, because it's a charter school, so it's publicly funded with private education curriculum. So yeah, like
nothing out of state.
Nothing out of state. Nah, we
I mean, I don't know, nigga.
Yeah, no.
You didn't apply to any colleges out of state?
No, sir. No. I like eight schools. That's it. 4 CSUs, 4 UCs. That's it. 8 schools.
And got in all of them.
Except I got waitlisted at UCLA.
Okay, damn.
Yeah, I got waitlisted. Yeah.
So why Berkeley?
Well, it was a very like simple understanding. Like I said, I had
scared to leave home, nigga.
Well, like you know what's funny? So like what is it? So like but our counselors, they were like it was always like competing advice, right? You had one dude who was like you should leave at least 1 hour from the Bay Area, but I was like, man, that's bullshit. Like yo, like you kind of need to like have like a solid foundation. So like get out of your comfort zone, but you don't have to leave the whole entire
no, that's stupid. I mean, if you go leave, then fucking leave out of state. Why leave 20 minutes away?
I'll put it
20 miles.
I was ready to leave for Colorado though, because I did live in Colorado Springs for quite some time when I was training at the OTC Olympic Training Center. But like it was like, oh well, all right, let's do the school shit. So I was kind of pissed. I was having a lot of fun, but I was like, man, like I should be weightlifting. But it's like the partying's picking up, the drinking is starting. I'm smoking weed for the first time. You know, I'm puffing on reefer. Like first time I ever smoked weed was when I was 18, my senior year. And then like coming back to the Bay, it was just like Kush clouds. Cause growing up, like in high school, it was all about Taylor Gang Wiz, right? Like I was like, what the fuck? Like smoking weed and shit. What is this? And then you learn about medicinal benefits. It made me feel good. And it was just carefree. But you get a little caught up, you know, cause now Simon's ain't really being checked on time.
We'll get into the drugs in phase 3. Let's stay on phase 2. So you choose Berkeley for what reason again? I chose UCB because it was the next step for me. I knew that it was the #1 public institution in the world. Still is. Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, like crazy.
Almost fell off, but like horseshoes and hand grenades. Yeah, we're #1. Like it's like the academic rigors are no joke there. You are like working with like the most world renowned professors in sociology, STEM.
I think they have the college with the most Nobel Peace Prize winners in one school.
Literally haven't like invented like table of elements. They just a fully phenomenal like institution that can catapult you into any type of industry that you want to be a part of.
But you create your own. Black people
there's
whatsoever.
A lot of innovators there, a lot of weirdos, but that's because you're just thinking on another level, so no one's gonna understand. Yeah, like you know, oh yeah, let me make a social network that we could all talk. Shout out Tom. He didn't graduate, but he went. So
there's another group. They're called Black Book. And they're doing the same shit that you're talking about, making a social group, but for black people that go to Berkeley or some shit.
What's that like 10 people?
Yeah, exactly.
Like 10 like a big ass group chat. Like, I studied at 2 stairs in the bucket.
So did your dad try to influence you in any way to go to Berkeley?
Oh no, he told me what was up. Like
he said go to Berkeley.
Oh yeah, like you know, and my auntie, you know, was my teacher, you know, and I knew it, and like football practice, right? We had one of a Stanford alum. I think he even did a little NFL time too, and like Stanford Cardinal football alum, right? And he was like, "Yeah, your college decision isn't a 4-year choice; it's a 40-year choice. So when you're making like your post high school decisions, you have to be thinking long term about what it's going to do for your future." And that definitely always stuck with me.
You didn't play football for Cal, did you?
Absolutely not. I never. Not absolutely not.
Because if you were going to college to play football, Berkeley probably would have been not the choice for you.
I love my brothers. Like I party and blazed up and turned up with like plenty football players. I want to announce publicly, you know, because they got their own shit. But nah, man. Like I'm
choosing any sport, Berkeley should be your last choice. But
we have a phenomenal aquatics program.
Oh yeah, swimming. Yeah, you guys
water polo. Yeah. Like hold up now. Yeah, like don't like Missy Franklin.
But we're talking about the sports that
we're
normal. Well, not
like you feel me. KJ went there.
I'm talking about the popular sports that the black man succeeds in. I mean, we succeed in all sports.
That's what I'm saying. We got phenomenal swimmers on Cal Swim. Shout out Reese.
The two sports that we're usually known for is basketball and football, and Berkeley sucks in both of those sports.
To be fair, I believe it was rising junior sophomore. Jaylen Brown did attend Cal with Ivan Rabb.
I was so surprised that Jaylen Brown went there because I never even heard about. He sucked in Berkeley.
We made the tournament. And he went first round. Expectation.
My ears are to the streets when it comes to basketball shit, and I didn't even hear about Jaylen Brown. I didn't even hear about Jaylen Brown when he was at
hurt
Cal.
For the big game when we went to the big dance, and but then he got a big paycheck in Boston. So shout out Jaylen.
I mean, Jaylen Brown is nice as fuck, but I just never heard about him. That's why I was surprised when they said he went to Berkeley. I was like, damn, I never even heard of this guy.
I was pretty flabbergasted. I was like, huh? How we land? Like,
because if you're in North Carolina during the time Zion Williamson was there, there's a pretty big chance, nigga, that you're going to hear about this kid at Duke who's jumping out the gym, dunking on motherfuckers. You could be at a grocery store and nigga you'll see the local paper or anything. I was at Berkeley and I didn't hear nothing about Jaylen Brown the whole time he was there.
Man, you had to be around, man. He was doing his little Dougie, and we had Ivan too, a hometown hero from O'Dowd. Shout out O'Dowd. I had a lot of homies.
I'm just saying, when it comes to sports, UC Berkeley is not the school that you think of.
Oh,
you think of engineering and science.
Oh, it's for surely the Bad News Bears. That's like kind of the little like little nickname of like the athletes like where careers go to die. The Bad News Bears.
Yeah.
That's
why all the majority of the black people that go there are playing sports, nigga.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, man. Affirmative action was a indefinite reaction to taking away the melanated folk.
Affirmative action has its pros and cons. Pros that it gets us in the door, and cons that it gets the wrong people in the door.
But at the same time, like to quote How High, you see what we can get with just a little opportunity.
Yeah, that is true. But what my stance on that is fuck these colleges, nigga. Go to the black colleges, or don't go to college at all, nigga. Go to a trade school.
So
you know what I'm saying, you don't gotta go to a 4-year college to learn how to be a painter.
So this is where and this goes back to even to like Souls of Black Folks with W.E.B. Du Bois, where like the black struggle is always going to be the formal education versus the trade education, and now that like formal education is becoming really bastardized, essentially because of like the pandemic even exposed that online certification and Zoom. It's just, and it's no longer it's because like bachelors are just dime a dozens, the equivalent to a new high school diploma. Mm-hmm. You have to be marketable to the job market. What is your skill set that brings you value to society? How can you bring profit to companies? What skills and trade? It doesn't matter if you know how to write a bomb ass paper. It doesn't matter what your critical thinking, group, that shit is irrelevant. Now you could use a lot of skills, and if you go to prestigious schools, that still matters, but you have to be marketable in the job.
Can you fix this refrigerator, nigga?
That does matter.
Because refrigerators ain't going nowhere. Nigga, stoves and ovens ain't going nowhere. Electricity in your house ain't going nowhere. Can you fix that? Can you pull a solar panel on my roof, nigga? Can you fix my AC? Those jobs is what pays money and what you should learn. Not, can I fucking I don't even know what the fuck. What the
can you do something to go to? Can you please recite a summary of the William Shakespeare to be or not to be?
Can you tell me who John Ruth Booth is? Like, what is that going to get you? Where is that going to? Can you fucking add? Can you take all these problems and add? Are you great at math? Like, what is? Do you know what these physics equations are? Like, oh, that's different. That's different. That's some science. You go to NASA with that shit.
Wait, that's the thing. If you're doing STEM, you got to be doing school for a minute too. Like,
but what I'm saying is, go to college if you're trying to be a doctor or a lawyer or a fucking physicist or engineer or those specific things. You need school for that type of shit. Correct. But going to school like, oh, I want to learn art, or I want to learn Black history, and going to 4 years. And to study that bullshit, nigga, they even have course. I just read. This is rant number 2. I just read a story, right?
The Nicki Minaj course. Is that what you're about to refer to?
It's similar. They have courses in college that study Harry Giles, where you can take a class and study Harry Giles. So imagine these parents who are sending these kids to these schools, paying $20,000 a year. And they're taking classes studying Harry Giles, nigga. How is that going to benefit you in the real world, my nigga?
Well, to be fair, right? Like, allow me to retort. Popular culture, right?
Oh my God.
Still has an idol, right?
Don't tell me you brainwashed too.
Well, it's not a brainwashing necessarily, but it is like, this is a business. All right, let's hold up now. Let's really compartmentalize.
Go ahead.
Why is that shit tolerated? Why is that allowed? Right? Because think about it. Think about what you really just said. I was there, right, for fucking 10 years in Berkeley, right? You're paying, like you said, 30.
But were you taking a Harry Giles class?
So let me break down why a Harry Giles class has to exist. Why a fraternity has to exist. Why these experiences and these type of like fun like learning enhancements can have to happen on on a college campus, right? Because you are paying $30,000-$40,000, man. These are la lands. These are not real interpretations of what the world is. This is literally what I like to say, safe zone, a safe space for young adults, essentially to be pandered to be coddled. It's like a big ass daycare, where now your only real accountability is got to turn a little paper here. You got to, show up to a class here and there. And
your mother, and this is one thing, another thing I hate about college kids. Well, I mean, I went to college too.
Drinking, all the college students loving you. We all turn it out into the.
But when you get older, and then when you see college kids, you're like, these motherfuckers think they're actual grown-ups.
Offside.
They think, oh, I'm a grown-up now. No, nigga, you're just going to school. First of all, you're not paying none of these bills. You're not living on your own. You don't have a job.
Loans to stay at the home.
Or your only responsibility is to wake up and go to class. You know what I'm saying? And then some of the times you don't even do that because
most of the time
you're so fucked up from partying the other night.
The hot chick from the sorority last night.
And then you don't. Yeah, exactly. And you don't go to class. But if this was the real world, and if you can't get fucked up and be like, oh, I'm too fucked up to go to work. No, nigga, you're fired. The next thing you know, you can't live on your own. Next thing you know, you're in your mother's house again. So that's the real world. And these fucking college kids, they're walking around, oh, I'm in college, with their nose up in the air, like, I'm a grown up now. No, nigga, you're not a fucking grown up.
That's why I had this funny little saying too, oh yeah, so you're partying, drugging, thugging up in school, those habits don't disappear. That's what I did. So it's all fun and games because you're 18, 19, going to this party, that, and little dirty nose here, beer here, but it's now you're 22, 24. It's oh nope. Old habits don't die hard. They just thrive.
So when you were what did you study in school?
I was a legal studies major.
Legal? Okay.
I was going to be a lawyer, but I couldn't follow the law.
So you were going to Berkeley when
I was going to be a lawyer.
Before they changed the name of that law building.
Yeah, I know. I think
did you guys ever that name has been there since they built the building. So did that name ever come across anyone's mind? Because they just changed the name of the last year, right? They've Googled this nigga
very
and
recent.
found out he was a Nazi or some shit.
people don't like really care until like they're told to, and like it's I just found it humorous. It was just like, oh yeah, he was a racist the whole time, and now they're changing it. I was like, well, fucking good riddance, like I was like, well,
and that wasn't even it was multiple buildings that Cal.
I think Lacan's. I don't know. I want to just dropping names and shit, but yeah, man, like racist white men with a lot of money. Yeah, like put her name like Nobel. He was killing motherfuckers, but changed the name to peace. Like people, that's the thing. Like you got to be able to write your own narrative.
He killed some Jews, but he created a electron. Yeah, let's name a building after him. But yeah, anyway. So you're in school. You're studying to be a lawyer.
Off top.
And what was that like? What was the ratio of? I mean, you're a black man studying law at Berkeley.
ONIFC. Only nigga in first class. Like, you feel, when Wiz said that, I felt, you feel me? Like I was like, yeah, ONIFC. That was me off top. It was cool going to like the.
Give me some negative. Give me two negatives and give me two positives about ONIFC.
About ONIFC. Mm-hmm. Okay, so let's start with the positives first, right? Mm-hmm. Like you are literally like a fucking like ambassador for all black people. You were essentially like Obama, right? And some people like this is a pod. Like these are my positive, right? So you get to come in, especially like because I was so well. I did so good. Like I could like fuck off on midterms, but because I was like really good in discussion, because I had the charisma, I had the presence to actually like, even if I didn't like do all the readings, I could hold my own. They'd be like, yeah, man, just fucking smart guy, right? Mm. So that was always like there's like a certain standard that you could uphold yourself to, because everyone's like, damn, is that what's going on with the black people, right? But I guess that kind of does lead into a con. It's
so like every black issue they'll turn to you and ask you what's your opinion. Like you represent all black people.
Off top, yeah, you are the ambassador of the Wakanda lands, the motherland, and any other land where melanated folks reside. So good luck. Hey, shit, like you're at a PWI. That's one of the problems you got to deal with, So that's why, and that honestly that never really really bothered me, because it's like, all right, yeah, I'm at a PWI. It's like this is what it is, If I grew up all around my people, that was lit. Like I didn't apply to any HBCUs, so this is what I got to deal with. Mm. But I do want to go to Howard's homecoming one day.
Oh yeah,
just gotta go. Luda shot it out.
Like free fest.
See like some serious, like educated, professional black folk.
Shut the fuck up. You want to go there because you trying to fuck and party.
I'm saying, hell yeah, you see some queens and get in between off top. Shit,
nice.
Shit, start a nice nuclear black family.
All right, so you're in school, blah blah blah. And did you start getting into the party and drug phase heavily during college? Immediately? Expeditiously.
Like I said, I was start smoking weed every day.
Like who turned you out? Like who was your...
Like I said, I had smoked weed. in high school.
Yeah, but you weren't. smoking weed. Yeah, I mean, I feel middle school motherfuckers smoke weed. I'm talking about the drugs and the.
So yeah, off top.
Who turned you out?
Hold on. Yeah, so let's get
who was your Ricky Bobby when you went through the.
I'm gonna keep it funky.
When you went through the door and he was like, "This is crack. You don't want that." Who was that nigga for you?
Hold up, King. Hold up, God. I'm gonna keep it funky because my mama was a junkie. So peep this, all right? I had 3 fucking rules, and I was like dead ass serious. No needles, no pipes, and don't smoke white. No needles, because we don't fucking mainline. Watch Basketball Diaries if you ever want to know. Requiem for a Dream is a
great movie.
Yeah, but basketball, because he was an athlete. It's a young fucking Leo. It's like one of my we don't even play with needles. You ain't gonna catch me in the bathroom doing no funny shit for a fucking hit, right? So boom, I already knew I ain't never fucking with no needles, no pipes, because like I said, mom, she ran that funky shit. So I don't even like, even when I smoke weed, I really don't like. I'm like, that's
you don't like bongs and shit.
I always roll up. Mm-hmm. I had I have hit a weed pipe, but like my preference is purely to burn along. You feel me? And I don't even smoke tobacco as much anymore. So I'm always smoking papers, just like Wiz said, raw only. Live a raw ass lifestyle. So no needles, no pipes, and you don't smoke white, yo. Like fuck no, I'm not like lighting up nothing crystal, nothing fucking blanco, none of that shit. So yeah, that 3 rules. So boom, off top, right? All right, here we are. We're in underground and shit. How do we get turned out? So I went to my first rave, right? So the first time I ever popped something, right? It was us and the homies, right? It was Big Bro. you know, because like this is straight frat shit, and it's Halloween. This is a Halloween rave too, right? He was like trying to pop some shit. I was like, fuck it, this is a rave. I'm trying to see what's up, right? Man, I mean, like first like 30, 40 minutes, I was like, I don't feel shit. And then like I started feeling it, and then next thing you know,
but when you say pop shit, what drug are you talking? Molly or something?
So you know it's crazy when we came up, right? We was taking ecstasy, right? Those are compressed pills with all types of ingredients and instruments that got all types of funky shit in there. You know, like essentially on the real, that shit is oral meth. Like you gonna have a blast, but your ass is gonna be eyes burning, zombied out, like after a few hours, but surely cracked out too. Yeah, that's how we started. You feel me? That was the get down, right? And like it's always like you go to a rave, you pop pills, you go to a rave, pop pills. Luckily, I love raving and like that party scene so much. I was like, I don't need to be taking ecstasy every single time, because you're dead, like you're like dead tired after like your brain is like literally like cracked open with the egg and fried. You do feel that that PSA about like, you know, this is your brain on drugs, like and yeah, so like it was lit when I was like, all right, I'm not taking ecstasy every single time to go to a rave, but that shit is hella fun though, I ain't gonna lie. Go to a rave, she's thizzed out, you on, y'all go behind the back of something, you know, and then she might like lick on something, you feel it goes down. Raving and misbehaving, that's that life. Like you want to talk about like fuck a lingerie party, just go to a fucking rave, yo.
So that was when you got turned up.
Oh yeah, I was
so after that you got hooked.
Shit, yeah, oh yeah, after the rave, yeah, for sure.
So you started doing drugs heavily after that in your college days. Did that affect your college like grades and shit?
Like you can't even like fucking like.
I mean, because there are some people who do drugs
addicts.
Or functional
but the problem
addicts.
is you're a first generation college student with low resources. So if your ass is fucking up, you are fucked. Like this is this is your life, right? And you're accountable for all this. But if you fuck off, like you're still responsible. Like day one, like you still gotta handle it. And like so every semester, right, coming around finals week, it was like all right, am I even gonna make it to the next semester? Like everyone was like a nail biter, right? Like a job review, like shit. But I was never on academic probation, and I was able to always like essentially get a high enough mark where I would have enough financial aid, I would have like, you know, housing like of like each consecutive semester. So I was never on academic probation, but it was just, there was much to be desired if there was more focus.
Were you actively still weightlifting?
No, I like literally, essentially like the day I went to Cal was the day I quit weightlifting. Like.
So why is that? Because you just had other priorities or school was too hard?
So do you know what's funny? Like, cause I think about this in retrospect all the time, right? And we get to even talk about my mother. So, I'm at my mama in the Jets. It's me and her. And, I just remember sobbing. Like, she was like, Ace, you don't look as cut. I just like, cause I used to have like, just like this incredible physique from the high school, but like, as the high school days are like coming like to a close, I'm partying like a little bit more now. I'm hanging out. I'm not like on the strictest workout regimen for like a national championship pedigree. And she like, you know, you're like the little cuts, right? And that cut me. Cause I was like, I'm not gonna like, I'm sorry, my fucking weightlifting career is over. What the? And she's like, you know, like that was like one of the coolest times. She just kind of coddled me, and I was like, you know, it's all right. And yeah, that was it. Yeah, like by that time, I never competed. Like my last weightlifting competition, ironically, was at the same spot. That was my first ever weightlifting competition at Lincoln High School. And no, I have no plans to like revamp a weightlifting career, because literally like there's girls from my club that did go to the Olympics. Like I've moved forward. I put that chapter to rest. I've been able to move on, and I've been able to keep going on. So, but it is nice to talk about, because it did instill a lot of discipline, you know, a lot of like, you know, healthy workout habits that I still uphold to this day.
Did you finish at Cal?
So, all right, boom, boom, boom. Because you know I love jumping around, right? So after my mother passed, right, after my mama gone, I'm smoking strong, on a gang of other shit too. I don't know what the fuck I'm about to do. I had 2 classes left, right? That technically could have been finished before I even came to Cal.
Wait, before you say that, you said you were experiencing a lot of shit in college. Did you get addicted to anything?
Nah, well, you know what's crazy? Like as far as like the like the addiction really like to a party lifestyle where like, yeah, man, I did actually have to go to like, what is it? It wasn't like a AA technically, but it was like a, you know, like a substance abuse group that like, you know, it was like, remember those like Harry Styles class that you were talking about?
Yeah.
They even have like essentially like a AA type class where you get credits for going to AA, right?
Yeah.
So I was in one of those, and that helped me out a lot. It was even funny because like hella people, because everybody wants to take an easy, chill ass class. There was like 50 people that signed up. There's only 10 spots. I remember like they were like, right, why you want to be in this class, right? I got so offended. I just like fucking threw the shit. But then I took it back. I wrote it and I just threw it in the trash, and they read it and they were like, what the fuck? Yeah, he actually needs this. So yeah, they were like, come in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Do you feel it helped?
Hell yeah. You know, it was funny. So I was trying, that was during my junior year, I was practicing sobriety during that time because like the first 2 years at Cal, like, you know, just straight up like the dopest shit ever. Feel me? Like a dope ass dude. But then like around junior, I'm like, fuck, I can't keep fucking off. Right. So like I moved into a sober house. I was living in a frat house. Like first 2 years, you live in the freshman dorms, frat house. And the second full year I was fratting. And the third year, I moved into a sober house just so I wouldn't. But the problem is that the sober house is still on frat row. So even though like, yeah. So anything
you could be walking home and get tempted.
So like, yeah. So it was nice that like, all right, now like I still like, but that didn't really stop shit, honestly. But it did help me like be more responsible now that I'm just not in a full like party atmosphere. But I was still going like a lot of parties like all the time.
Were you addicted to a specific drug, or you were just doing all types of drugs?
Yeah, no, like I said, man, like I'll explain if it's not understood. Shit, shit, popping pills. Like ski slopes, like shit. This was, you know, ironically, the one thing I wasn't down to do was fucking shrooms. I thought that was like the weird hippie, like fucking extraterrestrial shit. I even did acid, like, but never did psilocybin, never. Cause I was like, I'm not losing. Cause I kind of thought it would be like salvia.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck yeah. I remember it was like spring break, right? It's me and all the bros, bullshit, not doing shit. It was like, y'all want to do salvia? I remember.
What the fuck is salvia?
So salvia is like it's legal. Like this is shit you can go to a smoke shop, right? And it's like, I think it's like a 50X, 100X, and you can go there, right? Like this is like legal, like grounded, like plant medicine, and like you hit it, it's just hard too. It's just like dense, like rock, right? And you can hit it out of a bong, right? And it tastes like garbage. It's harsh, and
so it's something you smoke.
Yeah, you inhale, right? That's how you consume this. Anyway, and we're all just linked up spring break because, you know, like shit, LA, I think it was broke. So I always stayed that was the one thing about me. I always stayed in Berkeley during all breaks. It didn't matter if it was winter, it didn't matter if it was spring. Always in the summer, I always stayed in Berkeley. So that was like I was always posted. Anyway, I hit it. And then next thing I know, like I turned into like a house with eyes all around, and I'm entranced in a world that I don't even know. I'm not even supposed to be. Everyone's staring at me. Yeah, no salvia. Never. Negative 5 stars.
Okay.
Under no circumstances. Like if you put coke in my blunt, I can understand that. But if I find out you ever lace me with salvia, fade. Yeah.
So after what year did you finish Berkeley?
I finished my degree. My bachelor degree states that I am a pandemic grad, 2020. My sister actually technically graduated before me. That's always going to be it was so just to like kind of feel like you actually did. I finish, right? So after my mom passed away, after she passed away from cancer, right? 2 classes left. I say, fuck those classes. I ain't going back. You feel me? On some like, man, like I'm tired of fucking, I didn't like school in the first place. I wasn't doing good in it. It's 2 classes. I'll finish it later when I fucking feel like it. And that, boom, it's just still living in Berkeley. Like just regular ass nigga in Berkeley now, working a bum ass fucking gym job, locally that I had from the summer, but now it's like my real job. And that was it. Like I would work out, go to the college parties, hang out with the homies that are still, you know, going to the college. And that was just really my life during that time where it was just very stagnant. I was very like ashamed, and like they're like, and I was like essentially just enabling fucking mediocrity because I didn't have to do shit. If I didn't show up, it didn't even matter because it was a failing company anyway. I didn't actually have to make any calls. I was getting a broke boy check. I was living with like, what was it? Like 8 other people. And in my room, it was technically the master bedroom, but 2 people stayed in it. So it was 3 total. Just dirtball, smoking cat piss in the coop like mentality. Had 2 girlfriends, but at the same time, no job and no real motherfucking stability. Yeah. So I was, just regular Berkeley nigga shit. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't even remember the question I asked you.
Oh, yeah. I did. I keep it funny.
So, all right. So you finished Berkeley.
So
this is phase 3.
Before we just to clarify though, so essentially how the finish process did happen was I took my math class at Laney, so Laney alum, throw your L's up, love it. And then when I lived in LA for a year, I took my my last Spanish class at West LA College. So got the L's.
So you
and then because they were transfer credits, and
so you get your degree says University of Berkeley.
Of course, like you can transfer. That's the you want to talk about how to finesse college.
I don't know, nigga. I was wondering, did it say Laney or did it say you?
No. You know what? So here, let me break down some more cold ass like finesse, like college finesse game, right? Mm-hmm. So when you're dealing with the whole entire California education system, all CCs, all California community colleges, they transfer over to CSUs, the California State Universities, and the UCs. So you can knock out a gang of critical, critical thinking, important, prerequisites before you even get into these major universities, which saves you time and money. But because community college have this bastardized reputation, but you can really finesse off it.
That's the smartest thing. Take all your fucking prerequisites or whatever the fuck at a community college.
At CC, because it's gonna
get it out the way.
It's gonna be easier.
Because the majority of these motherfuckers at these universities are taking those classes, and that's all they're taking. And you're paying $40,000 a year when you could have been at a community college taking the same shit for I don't know how much that is, but I know it ain't $40,000.
Essentially, and the thing
probably
about
$300 or some shit.
I don't talk over people. No, you're such a great host. I don't want to talk.
No, go ahead.
No, but the thing about Cal, because it is so academically rigorous, that they're not there to teach you. They're there to assess you if you're smart enough for the Cal standard, right? So a statistics class, because math is math, numbers is numbers, right? Yeah. The way Cal statistics, Cal stats is taught in a very critical thinking component type of essay format. But when I went to Laney, honestly, I probably could have passed that shit in the 8th grade. Mm-hmm. It was just boom, 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 right? It's just these are the numbers, do the equation. You have a calculator, you're allowed to, I was out of there. I got an A+, boom, right? And then, yeah, it took me a while, to get my Spanish in, but let's just say it was an excelente.
Yeah, I'm just a true. I mean, college is great. I mean, I went obviously. Yeah. You went obviously.
What school did you go to?
San Diego.
San Diego State.
Mm-hmm.
Woo, Aztecs. Woo, Mountain West.
Listen.
Woo.
I went.
So when we go into a game day,
bro, I went, you went, but my idea about college is yes, it's important because obviously if you look at statistics, college graduates make an abundance. The gap between a college graduate's average paycheck and then a non-college, a high school graduate, there's a big disparity. There's a big gap,
as there should,
in income, as there should, but I'm a true believer in teaching me the shit that I'm gonna be faced with in day-to-day real life. Like you say math, yes, math is important. You got to learn how to count. Math is an important fucking subject. But nigga, learning like geography, this graph, like this angle to this angle, circumference and all that shit, that's not going to help me in my fucking day-to-day life on counting, in like regular day-to-day life. So learning graphs and shit. Even if you work at a grocery store, geometry, like trigonometry, all that shit is not going to help in your day-to-day life. So normal math is, yes. I don't know, your view might be different than mine.
But I completely concur. And to kind of add on, the college education system has essentially become a like a barrier threshold to keep like aspiring like young professionals from like disadvantaged like black brown, like it's like nah, we need your degree in order to like come to our company so you can get an entry level position, right? Knowingly like when you juxtapose to like, you know, at a PWI, like students coming from more like traditional education are not first generation, right? Like curriculum that like, they've already been taught, their parents have already went, right? So this is just like the ongoing like you know the ongoing like educational process, like, you know, another day to day. It's essentially it's red tape. That's how I see it.
So when you finish college,
Correct.
We're starting phase 3 of your life. You finish college. You're fresh out of UC Berkeley. You went
Remember,
through?
I'm in LA when I finished college. I'm in LA.
Well, you're done with school.
I'm done with school. When I was living in Berkeley and I moved to LA, I was done with school.
So you're done with school.
Facts.
You went from high school to college. You experienced bitches. You experienced drugs. You experienced alcohol.
Life.
Everything you experienced.
Well lived.
A certain type of life. When you finished Berkeley, did you feel that you are the man that you
Absolutely not.
are now?
It is like we are far from like the journey.
Okay.
But no, I think shit doesn't really get turned up until the pandemic.
Okay.
So I like how you did say phase 3, because phase 3 is essentially like in the like moving back to the Bay, coming from LA. So
why did you go to LA?
Oh shit! I was like, it's like I said, I was a Berkeley nigga, so I was like, man, like working this bum ass job, trying to do a little security, like security on the side, top flight. I'm like, man, like fucking, I'm out. Like, you know, I had my little Ocho, you feel me, my little Tika, and she's like, all right, yo, you trying to go to Hollywood? I was like, fuck it, we out, you know. Dead ass, you know, like riding around in her Jeep and shit, like, you know, like fucking old Spanish lady. So yeah, I was like, bet we out this bit. And plus she was holding down when moms wasn't around, you know. So like I was like, bet, like, you know, like that immediate, like, you know, feminine presence in your life is just like, I don't give a fuck. Like if you want to go, like, you know, so yeah, don't ever like fucking like chase after chicks. Like you gotta be on your own purpose and passion. So it got no fucking business being in LA, like 0.none. That's why I was, and I'm broke as shit.
Did you like LA? Did you like the vibes out there? Because I don't like Southern California really.
I'm gonna peep this. I like the idea that like there's tens of millions of people that allow you to like have like this wide market space and do like a numerous profitable like industry changing like every night. But if you ain't got no fucking money, like shit is not finna be smooth. Like you like is I didn't understand. Like I'm coming from the Bay where, you know, we take the BART, we wear fucking Vans in the club.
Exactly.
You feel me?
Facts.
I'm pulling up, I'll slide on something, then I did like here it's like, sir, where are your shoes? Exactly. I got first night.
You need a car. Everyone there, all the bitches out there are more concerned about what bag they got. Or if you have a Porsche or Ferrari. Niggas pull up to the club on bikes out here. Riding your bike. I'm not talking about a motorcycle.
Niggas pull up in the bus and still will knock the bid. You feel me? Like
bitches out here running around with hairy armpits and hair on their legs. It ain't LA.
Like nigga, in LA, if you are driving a Porsche and she has a Ferrari, she's gonna look at you like, why the fuck are you talking to me? Like that is it. I didn't understand. Like there's levels to this shit because like I said, I was in a bubble, you know. I can't. But then I'm in the Bay where there's essentially like no fucking dress code for any club. So I'm thinking like, yeah, like, you know, like shit. Why can't I wear my shorts? Why can't I wear my? It's like, nah, nigga.
That's why, I mean, I had people tell me I should move to LA to pursue what I'm doing now. I'm like, nah, I can't do it because it's. I mean, if I was rich, I can understand, because I think LA is for like rich people, because that's the only way you will truly experience and enjoy LA, because everything out there is catered to the rich people, the clubs, the fancy restaurants. Like if you're just a regular normal motherfucker, I mean, obviously there are bars you can go to, but I mean, they ain't shit compared to like the shit that's catered to, because it's Hollywood.
It is. And so what's cold about that Hollywood aspect, right, is like, so baby girl, right, that she actually worked at Vice. So I actually just got like a little slip, like the plus one shit, but it was like, oh man, it's like, you know, like, damn, I was just watching Netflix, like Dear White People. Now I'm seeing Homegirl, like right in front of me. And it's like, damn, like, you know, I'm all cuffed and shit. So I'm like, you know, yeah. So that was another reason why I was like, yeah, I need to get my shit together. Cause I'm like, yeah, I need to get back in the day.
So did you leave her and come back up here, or did you both come back up here?
No, off top. I got my shit. So here's what happened, right? My dad, cause my sister, she's at UCLA, right? So like both of it, like it was like kind of family, like, and he's even thinking of my father at that time was thinking about moving to LA, right? He came up to, my fucking, what was it? My little like no kitchen, no sink, hole in the wall studio in Koreatown, right? And just looked at me, looked at like what was up, and like I lived in like I lived trash apartment, nicer neighborhood, LA shit. Like I lived in Koreatown, right? Some motherfuckers be like boxed in 8, but it was just me and my man, right? So he was just like looking at me. He's like, hey, Sweat, what the fuck are you like? What the fuck is this? Like you were raised by a fucking man, yo. Like you know, like fucking like living all. I was like, I'm not living. I was just like, well, why can't you live by yourself? Why can't you do more by yourself, right? So after that, because remember, I was just bullshitting. Like I was like doing like little Coachella security that I got to sneak in, little Nakurity at like the Wiltern. Shout out the Wiltern. That's like a famous ass theater. Had a little like fucking like fitness model, like angle Dougie. Cause I was working at Gold's. Like after like my dad, like had like, you know, I was like, like the little gut check. I fucking quit all that shit. Went to a weed job fair, right? Cause I had applied for like weed positions. Cause I knew like, all right, I need some money, right? I got to start selling something, right? So obviously you got to, you know, sell some weed. I was like, I went to a weed job fair, and like I said, I had done horrible job, like weed job interviews, cause like I said, like she was tapped in, like, you know, she's meeting all these type of industry folks. She was like, what do you want to do? You got to start working. So I was like, well, fuck, I want to sell weed. And had a weed interview, garbage. I ain't going to say the company cause we might do a collab one day, but they know who they were. They're Cal alum too, right? Lo and behold, I go to the weed job fair. I took that experience. I took, you know, the deltas. And now I was able to reverse it. It was like, all right, now I know how to wiggle, right? So essentially, like I was only applying for like executive sales position. I already know, like I ain't doing no retail because like I just got done doing like low end ass, like the labor. Like I'm like, yo, I'm trying to specialize. I'm trying to professionalize off this. I'm trying to see how I could open like $1 million like brand marketing opportunities through like legitimate corporate cannabis, correct? And I got a job at the top SoCal brand in cannabis in Southern California, like the number one like cannabis company. Like
doing what?
I was an account exec, a vendor. I was a goer because they tell you to go get it, then you bring it back.
Good money.
Shit, I know a dude that ran up a milli off the corporate game on my team. Yeah.
So how long were you?
Cool ass dude, like the coolest too, like because they're like he was like the most chill mother. Like man, like I hope I get. Like, I ain't gonna say his name and shit, but like I hope I like get to running him and just burn one with him and just, you know, pick more game off, bro. Yeah, he was running shit in Dago for surely.
Were you? Well, how long were you doing that? How long were you with that company?
Let's see. I was with I can say the name too. It's on my LinkedIn, so I'm allowed to. I can speak on this. What was it? I was there for about like 7 months. 7 months. Going almost a year. Yeah.
And this was when you came back to the Bay, or were you still in LA?
So I started in LA, right? I was onboarded in LA, and they had to, you know, like coach me up, get me ready to be a soldier, right? But my hiring, like the whole intrigue, like about my whole entire presence was like, oh yeah, we're gonna send him back home, and he's gonna get it cracking for us, and I did.
Okay,
hell yeah! I started opening up crazy ass accounts.
So when did the whole mushroom empire come?
That's like probably part 4 because we got to talk about the game now. Okay.
So we're still in phase 3.
Yeah.
So you're learning the game about the drug business, the whole like the business side of it, right?
Man, so when it came to like corporate game, right? Because that's how I initially got introduced. Like not even like on the, like, remember, like I don't have, like I was never a hustler. I was never like, local trap, like none of that, right? I was like, all right, I'm gonna get a job. I'm gonna do everything correctly, and I'm gonna do everything upright and upstanding. But my views change as like my time gets deeper, even in said, corporate game, right? Yeah, essentially, I'm an account exec. I'm going to your dispensary. I'm providing information about my brand. I'm trying to figure out, how can I get into your store? How can, we have mutual beneficial partnerships that can, like get my brand on your menu, and then we could just run up profit, right? Because this is like the hottest LA company, but it's coming to the Bay. But there's a lot of politics between like cross branding, even though it's still in state. But that was my roadblock that I had to get over, which I did very successfully for a while.
Was learning the business easy for you?
Hell yeah. It's like you're selling weed. But the real problem is, right, let me like break down like the real like P's and Q's. The real problem is that, so like when you sell weed to someone, right? When you sell weed to someone, it's like, oh yo, I got this, boom. All right. Oh, you don't want it? Fuck it. All right. When you sell weed to a dispensary, to other brands, you are accountable to that one person. So if that one person doesn't fuck with you or doesn't fuck with you about, can't get that account. And because it's licensed, because everything is like, like well documented. And when I say well documented, it's not called fast, but there's an actual like government entity that tracks like all like sales from like seed to growth. Like I said, actual like full on like hellhole regulated process. Yeah, like it was on the up. Like it's called they nickname it the white market. You feel me? Because bunch of white folks with paperwork, just all like, all right, buy my weed, buy this weed. What's the tax? I need a lower price.
Well, and you not only did you have to learn business, you had to learn. I mean, not only did you have to learn about business and sales and marketing and all that bullshit, you also had to learn about weed too. Because you have to know about the product you're selling, correct?
I'm smoking weed every day now. I went from like, because when I moved to LA, I had this like misconception, like I have to take myself seriously. I have to be on like I'm trying to be on my fitness modeling routine, and like so I went through my last central like sobriety period where I was like no like even did like a sober October, dumbest shit ever, by the way. Like honestly, life got a lot better when I started like smoking weed and moderate, because at this point it's like you've been doing this shit since you was 18.
Yeah, them sober. No sex Novembers, no nut Novembers, sober Octobers, like them dumbass
like, off top, like my life November. I'm gonna live it how I want.
We're just gonna start doing the shit again in 30 days. So whatever. Continue.
So when you break it down, right? Like now, like it's like when I would smoke some like. Hear me out, real Berkeley shit. Like I would, because like I said, I'm working at the local gym job. I'll go to People's Park, throw bruh a 5, get like 2 blunts worth, 2 joints, maybe throw them a 10 after lunch, and I'm smooth, right? Like I'm copping off People's Park type shit. Now it's like, no, you have to know the cross genetics, the actual name, because I was getting high like to be high, right? But I was like, no, what is the cross? What is the strain? What is it actually mixed with? Like what are the terpenes? What's the actual like flavor profile? Like I had to have more like connoisseur rhetoric in order to like
to make the
pitch.
sale.
Yeah, in order to pitch to like
people were asking you this shit too.
Like that's like you bet like
damn,
like they're like the second you go in there, man, like you fucking open book. You better read correct. You better speak lingo.
Was it hard to sell?
So nobody bats 1,000, and sales is sales. It's an activities based. It's an activities based circumstance. So as long if you keep your activity high and you're just always pushing hard forward, hard working, now you could be very successful in any type of sales regimen. The problem is, it's like, all right, remember, like you only deal with that one person. So if that one person ain't fucking with you, and like I'm repping an LA company, so it's just like, So now it's like, all right, you're from LA, this is the Bay, but we know who you are. So all right, well, we'll wiggle with you, right? And so like, no, I was able to do a lot of damage. Oakland, San Francisco specifically. Yeah, a lot of San Francisco for sure. Yeah, I was in a bunch of dispensaries in San Francisco.
I remember when this whole like when the shit got legal, basically, and then all these dispensaries were opening up, and then the problem was they were making so much money, but they didn't have anywhere to put their money because the banks weren't fucking with them.
Can't touch dope money.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know if that is the same case now.
Oh, so there's a lot of like social equity legal due process that's still tried, but now there's still like no official like cannabis banking system that's gonna allow like federally regulated banks to touch dope money, which is hella dumb because like I know I'm like skipping a little, but like post pandemic, you feel me? I was an essential fucking worker, but like we still haven't gotten to like part 5, which is shrooms, but because we're still on part 3 going to part 4. So basically, right? Yeah, now I'm smoking weed like every single day, right? And I kind of like had the epiphany, right? This is like right before the pandemic. I was like, I was like, bust this. Like, I'm busting my ass, right? To make sure that like this brand is like, you know, just like well represented, right? But at the same time, it's like, with the second they get my contacts, the second, like, you know, they had set relation, because I'm just the representative. You know, I am an employee, you know, the boss, like El Jefe, like, I don't need to say her name, but even though it's a publicly traded company, blonde haired, blue eyed white lady from Oklahoma. Howdy, y'all. You feel me? Comes in looking like Britney Spears type shit, yo. Just like the most like glamorous, like boisterous type of presence, right? Really cool ass lady too. She would like, she was like, yeah, like, you know, just straight like hardcore saleswoman. I remember, right? I could talk about this because, like, you know, this is all documented, police report. So then this is kind of the reason where I kind of needed to fall back. So, I had a line, right? Boop. Hey, yo, Ace, we need it, right? I got to rush over to Wi-Fi. Start computing the digits and make sure the logistics are worked out so that everything can be coordinated properly. So, you know, we get the money, they get the inventory, right? Like smooth transition. You do gotta like, there's like logistical components to the sales too, because you're an exec, you're accountable to make sure that everything moves right and correctly, right? So, bam, so I'm at the Starbucks, right? I'm like in work mode because now I got the missus, right? Head of sales. She's coming down to do even more meetings. And that's always a good look for an exec when the owner comes down from LA to the Bay to make her presence wide. Mm-hmm. So like, this is like big deal. This is like make or break, right? In it, right? So I'm on my shit, just like locked in, and everything's telling me like, yo, cut, right? Cause I'm at a Starbucks in East Oakland, the one by that trash, fucking hotep ass, motel type shit, right? Next thing I know, like, you feel me, like a Ricky Henderson handoff, homie. Like I just see my fucking laptop just fucking in another nigga's possession. I was like, man, fuck that. I ain't going for that, yo. Man, I hop out that bitch so fast. I hop the fucking rail, get in the car with these niggas, right? Like he was like plural, like 1, 2, 3. I was like, fuck. I was like, fuck. I had my hand on my fucking laptop, right? So I'm like, right? Like 3, 4 niggas just da-da-da, you feel me? Like tee off. So I fall off the fucking moving car, right? My ankle's all fucked up. I mean, I'm talking like meat off the bone, just like hanging off and shit. I'm like, fuck. But all their shit falls out too. So I've been like, bet. Cause I'm like, fuck it. Like, police finna run a report. At least like, all right, boom. They get the shit, or I can like do a trade. I was like, fuck it, bro. So I take their shit. Like, I just fell out the car. Their shit fall out too. Probably like other inventory that they didn't like finesse. But I said, fuck it. I grab the shit, go back into the Starbucks, right? Let me, like, when we talk about like them young wild niggas, bro, like YWN, they say, oh yeah, that nigga think you, like, bro, here to grab the pole right now, cause like, remember, I'll run back in the Starbucks thinking shit is sweet. Upped it on me, right? I was like, fuck. Threw that shit down so fast. Remember, this is Starbucks at 5 p.m. Like, niggas getting off work. Like baby mama trying to get like a little frappuccino for their kids. Like, there's like 15, 16 of residents. Like, oh shit, right? Mm-hmm. I throw it down. He grabs it. Car peel off. Foot all fucked up. Laptop gone. Armani watch fucking like busted in and shit. I was like, what the fuck? Just like, you feel me? I was like, damn. And the first thing, remember, this is where my head was at too. Cause like, I'm really like deeply entrenched for this company. I got a meeting with the missus tomorrow. I didn't call the fucking cops. Call the fucking plug. I was like, hey, yo, I just got robbed. But Don't trip. They didn't take any inventory. I'm smooth. Get down here tomorrow, and we gonna keep running it, right? Because it was that same mentality, like nothing stops the show. That's always how my life has been. It's like nothing stops the fucking show, right? And like, man, like I have horrible eyesight, like horrendous. Like I cannot see without my glasses. I don't even really wear glasses anymore. Cops asking me, what do you look like? I knew some niggas wrong. I knew like black men, right? But I didn't know which one. So I wasn't gonna like make false statements or, do any type of like further.
Yeah, because it wasn't like these niggas was going to catch him anyway.
Hold up, it's kind of cold, right? Because remember, a couple weeks later, right? Like, because that was kind of their little bum ass scheme, like robbing niggas' laptops at Starbucks, right? Same crew, like I'll never know for sure same dudes which, but like same crew for sure, because it's the exact same MO, right? Same exact thing to another bruh, right? Like Asian cat.
Same Starbucks?
Different one.
Oh, okay.
So it's similar neighborhood in that area in the town. Essentially, man, they snatched his shit too. And he ran after him as well. And he went in the car as well. Except when he fell out the car, as I did, he didn't hit his foot, hit his head.
Damn.
That was it.
Died?
Off top.
So they got charged with murder?
Yeah. Yeah.
Stupid ass niggas.
Real shit, real town shit. After that, like I had to tighten up. I was like, I had to move very carefully and cautiously through the town during that time. When I was with you. And after that happened, right? So after that happened, I'm like, man, shit, bro. I was like, what the fuck, yo? I thought I was playing it safe. How am I still sorry? Cause it's like, yeah, bro, you're outside. Anything can happen anywhere. It's the areas you hang out in, homie.
Yeah.
So boom. It was like I started like kind of fading back, like a central like quiet quitting, because I'm like, yo, where the fuck is like technicals, bro? Like, it's like, even questioning, like, can I even still like maybe, I'm just like, damn, like what the fuck? Like I'm going to question, like maybe I should go back to school, So I resigned. Yeah, I resigned after like what is it, like a month or so afterwards, something like that.
Okay. So after that you were just chilling?
Hell nah, man. The pandemic happened.
Oh yeah, the pandemic. Okay.
And I was really outside, man. That was like some of like, I look back, cause I still had the Challenger, right? I had a 2019 Challenger. So
how were you really outside when the pandemic just started? Like when everything was closed? I'm gonna keep
it 10 times 10. All right. That like during the pandemic for surely is where I got a little town express card, because remember, I'm Berkeley, nigga. You feel me? I don't even go past 61st. Now I'm like, Lake Merritt, Seminary. You feel? I'm really just like I'm like, shit, it's the pan. Like I'm like, fuck it, and like other Berkeley niggas too. We are just kicking it straight up in East Oakland, Lake Merritt. I'm like, that was the most I had ever been like town affiliated to the T, bro. That shit was many. 2:30, like what is it? Like ain't shit open, right? You like, you meet something at the lake, or maybe at Dolores, because Dolores was popping too. I was also at Dolores, but remember this town shit, man. Like say what's up. You might knock something at the lake, and she's like, all right, meet me at 2:30 at Lake Merritt, 2:30 in the morning. You feel me? Just for car date shit. We watching movies. You feel me? Like sipping on a Slurpee, then you might get a Slurpee. You feel me, bruh? It was like,
you're just talking about partying, but you're not talking about like the drug game.
Like that's coming immediately, because this is where it gets cold, right? So like, we're having a good time. We're on unemployment. I'm like, remember, I'm not like, I just left the corporate game. I'm moving boxes, getting like unemployment checks, and just kind of just kicking it with the homies, just really bullying, whether I'm in the town, whether I'm in the city, just kicking it with, the 24/7 party crowd. My homie fucking committed suicide, bro. Like dead ass. He fucking those ski slopes, man. They run deep, man. We called him Nesh. Smart, like just a brilliant fucking mind. He was like a coder engineer, right? And like, remember this pandemic, so nobody's moving correctly. You feel me? Like I said, I'm at the lake 2:30, like he's like like smoke cigarettes, like chain smoke, like just bags everywhere and shit. We're kicking it, watching Sopranos, and then he just like busts out the door. I was like, what the fuck? And then shit, I gotta go to work. So, I'm moving boxes at this time. So I was like, it's my man's. Then I get the call from the corner. Your friend's, he's committed suicide.
The next day?
Yeah.
So when he ran out the house, you didn't see him again?
That was the last time I ever saw him. Yeah. So then afterwards, right? Like, so after that, I was like, all right, time to, I was like, all right. And then I was like, all right, time to go get some money. I was like, all right, yeah, like that was my man, you know, and we're just like posted in the city, and but it's like, all right, now I got to handle my own shit. So, I got back in the game with a lit ass crew from the like, you feel me? For like not too far from where this spot is. Yeah. So remember, I was fully corporate, right? Mm-hmm. There's an HR department at the very, you know, like. So I went, you feel me, blonde hair, blue eye, white, and it's right now, like, you know, this social equity license holder. Essentially, like it's like a reparations, like a reparations play, right? Where like people that would have been, you know, underrepresented within the cannabis industry, or actually did have marijuana charges, drug charges that now need to be rectified and allow them to like actually gain profit from said cannabis industry, are now allowed to, you know, to fully operate, right? My boss, right? You know, like Jew, right? Like fucking like he knew me because I was with them people down south, right? I was with the side, and he knew like, all right, yeah, he's an industry cat. You know, he could hold his own. He was like, all right, bet. He was like, yo, you try to get put on? Immediately, I put that damn box down. Went from moving boxes back to moving weight. You feel me? I was like, oh yeah, let's run it. Because I was like, shit, moving boxes. I'm like, I remember one week I got paid like $80. I was like, oh, fuck that.
What was you moving, nigga? Weed?
Yeah, no, this only like, yeah, I'm talking a lot of, I'm spending a lot of slick shit, but now we're talking about like cannabis, because at the end of the day, right? Like, it's fucking legal. Like, you feel me? Like, why would like, if you know that you could like legally be involved with like said, like, yeah, just move correctly. That's all. You know, like, cause it's a corporate, like, that's why it's like, I love it when people like from out of town, they're like, what? I was like, yeah, it's legal here. So it's a little different. Yeah. You know, you feel me? So, yeah, he was like, you trying to get put on? I was like, bet, right? It was so funny because like the interview, right? I air quotes and shit. The interview was like, so, how do you drive, right? The answer being like good or bad. You know what I told him? Automatic. And then he was like, all right. And then he was like, okay. He's like, okay, all right. Would you consider yourself a fast driver or a slow driver, right? You know what I told him? Law abiding. He threw me the keys. It's like, all right, yeah, this nigga, yeah, he gonna.
I know why he was asking you that. Because you gonna be traveling with all that shit in the car.
I mean, not like, no, but the system was like, no, the system, like, it's like, yeah, you know, you got shit on you for sure. Like, yeah, it's like, but it's like, you know, like, serve it, boom, come back to base, chill out. It was lit because like, so I would be doing 12-hour shifts, right, in West Oakland, right? I'd be like, hey, you know, post it at the base, or as they used to say, post it at the trap, right? And like a 12-hour shift, like I was working 12-hour shift, like, you feel me? Like, I'm smoking weed. I'm taking naps because like, you feel like, because I had so many responsibilities, right? Well, I was working at the base in West Oakland. I had a lot of responsibilities, but like it was like, yo, this is not like some fucking like lily pad, like fucking corporate, like, you know, like, it's like, yo, we chilling, bro. Like, we just, like, it's just, you know, it's family, you know, like, so yeah, they put her, which was really dope, especially during the pandemic. It was like, oh shit, it was real fucking chill, right? So I guess this is where like part 5 comes, right? So like, you know, this is like the office work culture, right? Where like, you know, we turn after work, you know, we turn up and shit, but I don't really like drinking. Mm-hmm. You know, I don't consider myself. I do drink, but I'm not a drinker, right? Yeah. But they're like, you know, like we don't give a fuck, Berkeley, right?
Yeah, you can't have more than one and more vice. Can't be an alcoholic and a drug addict, you know what I'm saying?
Pick your poison.
Yeah, exactly.
But the poison picks you, right? So they're like, yo, well, fuck that. You're going to do something, Berkeley, right? Because, you know, these are the town stars. So they're like, all right, B-Town, college boy, right? They're like, take the shrooms. I was like, all right, you feel I didn't even like just like me jerk. Of course, yeah, right? Never fucking taken shrooms in my life. I did that. I
first time
ever. Yeah. Yeah, okay. Yeah, with Green Gold. essentially like changed my whole life around because I took the.
You felt it that day, that night, immediately,
expeditiously. Like it takes like it's not like so when you consume psilocybin, right? It doesn't like it's not like it takes like about a SpongeBob episode, and then like just so much angst, anxiety, a lot of guilt and depression. Just was kind of able to just flow naturally as a cycle of life. I no longer felt it weighing me down, but I felt that I could like fully embrace like the entirety of my life cycle and just keep it going now and progress.
All right. Well, we'll take a second real quick for today's sponsor of the show. This episode is brought to you by BetterHelp. BetterHelp is the number one place to go for counseling and therapy. It's all online, so you could be living in Alaska in the middle of nowhere and still have access to the top therapist in the nation. And you can also change your therapist whenever you want to. So if this motherfucker ain't hearing you, you can easily change your therapist. And it's all done on your time, on your phone, online. And if you have problems, you know what I'm saying, any type of problem, suicidal, drug addict, you just want to talk, you're failing school, anything that you need therapy in or just want to talk to, BetterHelp is the place to go. And you can get 10% off your first month of BetterHelp therapy using the code betterhelp.com/everydaycelebrity. That's 10% off your first month. All right, boom. We're done with that.
Okay, boom.
All right, mushrooms.
Psilocybin, get you vibing.
Yeah. This is so. Is this? Are we in phase? This is phase 5. This is the last phase.
A couple little shots. Let's.
We're still in phase 4.
Like one more like little like West Side story.
I forgot what phase we're in, but anyway.
This is.
We're in phase 4 right now. Yeah, we're still in phase 4.
Yeah,
okay.
This is like the last little. So like we like a social a social equity brand, right? Is like one of like the dopest experience I got to actually like understanding like the game, right? Like more traditional values, because now like these major like corporate, I don't want to nitpick, but these major like corporate conglomerates in the cannabis game, they're like so far removed from like the roots, from like, you know, like the criminalization. Like it's just like they present themselves like this JCPenney like Apple Store bullshit, right? But it's like, nah, bro, like motherfuckers, man, just think it's like, yo, pull up to the block, serve, boom, right? This shit is, it's all the same. It's all the fuck. It doesn't matter like how they're trying to repackage, refame. It's like serve is a serve. So, like one of the big things, right? One of like the big plays is like where I like really like now I'm outside, right? Like, so we set up shop Lake Merritt. And like, you know me, thinking shit is sweet, right? Like I'm like going to like, you know, the like, because like I got all my fucking gear on, you know, GGD, green gold, you know, I got stickers, you know, you say what's up, you show love, you know, throw them this, throw them a sample, boom, right? I'll never forget like the first time like I was at the lake, and like I threw one of the OGs some stickers and shit, right? He was like, oh, bet, cool, yeah, thanks, young blood, right? So I go back to my like my little camp like tent setup, right? And, like, you know, I see like, you know, the co-manager, she's like, hey, what's up? And then she's like, hey, he was like, oh, he with you? Oh, damn. Like, I was like, damn, we didn't know who Blood was. Cause I was like, oh shit. I'm like, yeah. So, you know, now I'm like, hey, motherfucker, this is, you know, there's some content, you know, you're kind of, you know, you're kind of recognized now, but I'm with the crew who, you know, who's, you know, they're locals. They're allowed to, you know, they're allowed to get their wiggle on. So it's like, boom, right? And that was like the dopest shit ever, because now it's just like I remember like I said, I used to have the bum ass gym job and other like weird ass sales jobs. Like, hey, buy my gym membership, or hey, would you like to sign up? It's like, now I'm like, hey, you trying to smoke? You feel me? Like, it's just, like nobody buy no fucking gym membership. Nobody give a fuck about like, you know, all the like this fitness, bro. Like, are you trying to burn? Oh yeah, bro. So I was lit, bro. I'm literally just like, I would just like sell out like crazy. I would just like, you know, I was just, cause it was, you know, like charisma based. I wasn't like, but I was like, I put some oomph, and like, you know, like girls, they're fucking with it. So you feel me? It's just like, hey, you say what's up. Like, hey, you trying to smoke later? Boom. Y'all slide to the house, y'all burning, you feel me? Like, you know, fucking around with one of the fiends and shit. It's just part of the game, right? It was a good time for the game. And I said all that because like, boom, it's Black People Day. The first official federally recognized Juneteenth Lake Merritt 2021. I went to the 2020. That was beautiful because it was deep pandemic. Now it's 2020. I'm excited as hell because I'm about to fucking like LeBron James, like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, like all the I had in my head like some athlete shit. I was like, I'm about to sell like that way. Like can't nobody tell me shit. I was like I'm about to like fucking like we ain't gonna even have to carry back shit because like all that shit finna be gone. I'm about to sell all this shit, right? So I'm like catching fire because now there's like tens of that like remember we're on the shore, we're on Lake Shore Ave, right? Like we're just like active, and I'm just out front, you know, like vibing, psilocybin, indica, kush, we like just like in a full on
to niggas, to Black people,
to anybody inside. It's like shit.
Black people were buying all this shit up.
Everybody buys from me. Everybody smokes weed. That was the lit thing.
Oh, you talking about weed? I thought I was talking about the other shit. Like
nah, man. We don't do that. Nah, man. Hear me out. Like it's like because like here like shit because I could like so with the other shit. That's a very like discretionary type of activity where like your decorum has to be like much more like you're known, you're not really seen. Like so I'll like put it this way. When you sell weed, especially because it's now such a corporate game and like and brand empowerment, so when you sell weed, you have to like you have to buy, like you have to put it out, right? You have to market. You put it when you're selling that shit, whatever that shit may be, they find you.
Yeah,
they look at like you, like see like, but like they find you, like they're hitting your ass up.
Yeah, I understand that.
But that's why it's important. You gotta see your trajectory in a career longevity, because like I said, like I fucking love cookies, right? I love the brand of I literally see it as the supreme of the cannabis industry.
Yeah. Did you ever like listen to his like some of his interviews how he started cookies? So he said the way he became so popular, right, is because it was all done with packaging. The weed was no different from this nigga who was selling the weed, but the packaging was different. And the packaging drawed people to the cookies brand. Like the Carolina blue packaging, the fact that it said cookies. He said how he came up with that, and then that drew all the people in to start buying his shit.
People don't buy what they need, they only buy what they feel. So if they feel like emotionally invested through ethos, hence your marketing, your brand. Oh yeah, like it does. Like you put cookies on a fucking basketball. Yeah. They're not a basketball company, but motherfuckers gonna be like hooping cookie.
Yeah,
off top.
Yeah, all of his like storefronts. They're like bright, that Carolina blue, and it attracts your eye. The logo, the cookies logo, the way it's written is like some cartoonish type shit.
I went to the grand opening for Cookies Oakland. I was at the grand opening and I was at the bus. You know, I was conducting business that's currently under an NDA, but I was there. Like I was invited. Like so, I did see like they run shit.
Yeah,
they are them.
And a lot of people, I mean, not a lot of people, but some people told me who smoke cookies. They said the weed is trash.
Well, hold up now. It's not.
But it's just the branding, niggas. The packaging draws niggas to cookies.
If it's so trash, why they sell so much? It's like this, right? You didn't buy.
Well, I didn't say all. I said that some people said they smoke cookies and they said that weed is trash. They get better weed. And you know, on the street.
And I rebuttal, like, you didn't buy cookies because they had the best weed. You bought cookies because they had the best look. They had the best bag,
the best name.
Yeah. You gonna pull out a cookies bag and like Squad gonna fuck with it. She gonna know what it is, so she gonna fuck with you. Then buy the best weed. Then there's flavors out there. There's terpenes if you're a connoisseur, especially, and if you really do burn, I would hope you know someone that can actually grow, or maybe you can even learn to grow yourself and get a little scratch on the side. There's other options to get the best weed that you desire. But what was I saying? So yeah, let's take it back to Black People Day. Juneteenth 2021, right? I'm in savage mode because I'm just like fucking. It's picking up. It went from like pitter patter to thousands to like now like for tens of thousands because we're on Lakeshore Ave and there's no walk room, right? And I'll never. This is like the most ingrained. Like, so I was in her fucking ear so she can hear me clear. I was like indica, kush, sativa, with like indica, kush, and then bro just slid like he just like darted right past me. I was like, and then another bro like immediately, and then by the time the third, I already knew what the fuck was up, bro. They didn't like, bro. They just let it off on play. I was like, fuck this.
They were fighting,
bro. Black people just shut up Black People Day.
Oh,
okay, bro, fighting like a stick fight for surely, bro, like a John Wick movie, man.
Yeah, that always happens at Lake Merritt.
It ain't supposed to happen, like not our day.
Yeah, it shouldn't happen, but you know, niggas are
shit, bro. I couldn't what did Rock say? She was like, I'm gonna bust a cap in the theater. Yeah, bro, they busted a cap. It was like it was a mass shooting, right? Like because when you break it down, like you know,
yeah,
a lot of people got shot. It was a mass shooting, right? And it was like the most horrific scene where you had like mothers like, "Where's my baby?" You had like people. I didn't even realize how close I was until like one of the ladies that you know who's always vibing and chilling with us. She was like I saw everything. So I do recognize like you know I pray to God, I pray to the heavens, I thank God it just wasn't my time. But at that time I was like fuck it, I was just pretty derailed because I'm like what the fuck, like I'm like here I am, I'm thinking shit is sweet, like I'm like shit still, I'm like shit still can go down, like what the fuck, I sell fucking weed, this shit is legal, how the fuck is this? And I'm like yeah, because it's how you move and sometimes where you at it can go like that. So and ironically, right, the homie, right, because remember we're still like you know what's ironic about that time too? The pandemic, you know, like for the first time, like technically like one of the like just like in the Bay just ended like for the first time, right? So he's like, oh yeah, we out to the club. And I'm not gonna like and the homie had a table at Vanity, right? So I'm like, I just survived a mass shooting and now the homie's like, go to the club in Vanity. I was like, in my head, I'm like, don't fucking go because you know some shit's gonna pop off. I go anyway because he just copped the Beamer. So like, you know, we was gonna look clear. I was like, all right, nigga got the table, nigga got a Beamer. All right, fuck it, we out, right? Like, and tell me what, lo and behold, we at the table. And Vanity, how it works is the table sections are like directly adjacent to the bar, right? And next thing I know, niggas turning the southpaw, like start throwing the 1-2, and I already like remember I just came from a mass shooting, right? So I'm like, I remember I'm right in front of the VIP. I'm like right in front because the bar's right there. The VIP's right behind, right? So kind of like to demonstrate, I literally do like a little backward slide down right into my VIP. And the girls are looking at me like I'm bugging. My man's just like, what the fuck is going on? And then next thing you know, you see a gang of folk, gang of us just all scrapping and shit. They're all looking at me like, what the fuck? And I was like, nigga, they're fighting. There's probably a gun. And then then I was like, yo, I just came from a mass shooting. They thought I was jiving, right? They thought I was like, you know, just bullshitting, being hella extra. But then like when they like found out the next day, cause you know, that shit made like all national news. The girl's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Like I was like, yeah, man, shit. So, yeah, essentially to make a long story short, right? Like when you get like real, like that one-on-one, like I think of it as like sales experience, right? Because now I know how to like, oh yeah, I could just like go, like I can get some shrooms, knock that shit. And now like, oh yeah, this is like, you know, just like soul, like this is like, now it's like, all right, now you can start. And that's that part 4 is super critical because now it's like, yeah, I learned how to fucking sell work. Yeah.
So we get to, you learn all this and we get to phase 4.
Yeah.
What are you, this is what you're doing currently in your life.
Correct. Yeah. When anyone asks me, it's like, I sell shrooms. So
yes, you sell shrooms. How did you make that transition from being an expert in the marijuana sales to jumping into the shrooms?
So I'm gonna keep it like 10 times 10, right? This is like LA didn't work out. I was doing corporate cannabis. My social equity brand gave me all the fucking game. Like shout out to the gave me all the fucking game, right? So I'm in B-Town, right? I like, you know, the kids are back, school's open. I was like, you know what? Fuck it, right? Like, so I what was it? I had like a QP, right? Mm-hmm. That's a quarter pound. It's 4 ounces, right? I took one to a party, right? I took one to a party because every like I'm trying to tell you, like 2020 Cal, like 2021 Cal, some of the craziest like fucking like extraterrestrial energy I've ever seen. Cause like it's like everybody just got like all kids, right? Just got like we're all like young adults off lockdown. So I'm like everyone's like, oh yeah, we out every night. This is Cal too. Like this is like not a party. Like there's a lot of people that do party because a lot of people go there, but it's not a party school, right? But nah, fuck that. Everybody was like always out on some shit, right? Brought an ounce of shrooms. I took the shit to a party because one of the homegirls, she was like, Ace, I got you. Just roll with me. Like I'll saw you at the parties. The shit was gone. I was just like, oh shit. Like it's fucking like shit. Like I was like, this is like my fucking day rate. Like on the west side. So I'm like, I mean, shit. I was like, yeah, you got what it takes. You feel me? Like a Wizard of Oz moment. Like, all right, you had it all along. So just keep it going. And yeah, I did. So I just kept selling shrooms. Yeah. Started in Berkeley, of course. Cause like I'm super familiar with the scene, like everyone's always vibing off psilocybin. Like it's real easy and convenient just to have a nice, like mental health break that allows you to relax, trip out, however you like. I love to recreationally consume psilocybin.
But just like when you were selling the weed, you had to learn about it. You had to learn how it was grown. You had to learn traces and all that shit that you were talking about. You couldn't just jump into selling mushrooms, or did you? And then did you start learning about the mathematics of mushrooms after you started selling it? To become a better salesman.
So yeah, let me hella break that down. So when I first initially wanted to start wholesaling, keeping mass inventory of shrooms, right? I'll use the little slang term shrooms. I needed a plug, right? So I actually went to the psilocybin conference in West Oakland at what's the name of the bar? Like fucking not Westwood, Barber. It's the I don't.
Where is it? Downtown?
It's in downtown Oakland. What's it called? Like Starberry. It's the two
Starline. They had a mushroom conference there
at Starline. There's a psilocybin conference at Starline.
Shout out to Starline. It used to be my favorite spot, but now that.
I'll damn like that anytime.
Well, they new owners and everything, so
people switching.
Different long story.
Yeah, not a long story, it's our story. Shit. So yeah, so Starline hosted the psilocybin conference, right? I'm like, get the fuck. I was like, bet, we out, right? So did not cop a ticket, right? But surely, this is like a ticketed private event. But I'm like, man, fuck all that.
Did my mans let you in? The nigga with the bald head with the gold teeth?
You know what? I mean, you know what? And he'll know what it is. High key, I made the hot spot. Cause I talked to I said something to the wrong mother. I came in on my corporate shit at first, right? Like, hello, is it cool? I'm really trying to lame as fuck, lame. And they treated me like a lame too. They were like, even one of is this he was saying, he even it's pronounced psilocybin. So what you may have seen, you may need to see this way, right? I'm like, man, fuck it. So I was like, man, fuck. I whipped out, feel me? Whipped out a little piecer. Whipped out a little work, just kind of puffed up. I was like, man, I'm gonna just post up. I'm used to, I'm gonna just post up and just kind of tap in. Cause eventually, right? That was where the real game went down. It's I have these shrooms, I have that. You introduce yourself, and plus I'm coming as a buyer. You feel me? I'm trying to tap in so we can actually get inventory moving. It was a total, once I spoke, presented myself to actual growers. Oh yeah, for sure. That was a big.
So you went there with the purpose of
finding a connect,
finding a connect, finding someone you can get their product and sell.
So, and it was hella fucking I met bro, right? He was like, oh yeah, man, I'm in Oakland, I'm down the street. You want a pound? I was like, what the? I was like, I need penis envy. He's like, albinos, A+. I was like, ugh. So you feel me?
What the fuck is that?
So there's there's a potency range of how entranced you'll actually become. Cause I remember I had to learn about the same steps of becoming a connoisseur. There's really two important baselines that a psilocybin experience is going to embrace, right? So you have like the more melodic like body experience, right, where you're just like completely like numbed, or it's still like a good mental like a mental massage, but at the same time your body is just like this relaxed like elevated state that allows you to like, you know, just be like so carefree and fluid now with your emotions, right? It's just like a hovering massage, right? You eat from eating like from eating psilocybin, indigenous medicine, really, right? But then, right, I love saying it's called like hippie sabotage, right? Like trippy shit. Like, whew, there is some fungi where you take like a little pitter patter. Your ass is like fucking like space. You are seeing like shades of green, blue, yellow. You are euphoric as hell, and all the colors are enhanced, and you know you're getting like a really intense body high as well. Where like now like especially like it all depends on the amount you consume as well.
Is it similar to like eating an edible, or way more crazier?
So edibles, right? Like depending on the THC content, you're still high. You're like really high. Psilocybin's not like that. It's actually quite the contrary. You're still like, if anything, now you're in a more enhanced cerebral state where like your critical thinking skills are a little bit more sharper. Like your vision can like it is now like heavily more enhanced with shades of blue, green, yellow, red, but like the cerebral intentions are like way more keen on like critical thinking, euphoric value, because psilocybin is I'm gonna this isn't going on tangent, but it's naturally already a part of us. To kind of keep clarifying, right? I don't mean to get like super extraterrestrial, but it does matter. So stone ape theory is like the next leap of human evolution, right? And like I said, it's a wild ass theory, but it makes it, because I always wonder, right? In stages of evolution, how do we go from like, you know, monkey to man? Like what is like, because it's like the nuance, like critical, because like we share like so much common ancestry, specifically within genetics, but it's like that last, like it's like the speaking, dialect, you know, clothes, like so like there's like serious, like I said, stone ape theory is actually like providing some context, like, you know, what would be that, like our actual like excrement that was coming out because it would grow and then it would be eaten. Like, yeah, that was actually able to like enhance the human brain.
I always wonder when people talk about mushrooms, I'm thinking like, what's the difference between these mushrooms that you're talking about and these mushrooms that are in the grocery store?
Yeah, like
are the mushrooms that you're talking about? Are there any type of man-made chemical to make you hallucinate? Absolutely, or are these just regular mushrooms that are in the fucking grocery store? And why, when I eat the mushrooms in the grocery store on this pizza, I don't feel the shit that you're talking about? Correct.
So fungi, right? The actual like growth, the actual growth. All like there's so many different species, so many different variables, right? That contribute to, you know, flavor enhancement that don't have any like cerebral like mental side effects. But then you have your spores that once again grown, like, because these are all different species of fungi. Yeah, you eat one of those motherfuckers, you are going to be man on the moon. So so just little tidbit, right? Because like, remember, I was ignorant when I was in college, thinking that it was just all this like mind enhancing, mind altering, you know, type of substance, not understanding that consumption, quantity consumption is like the most critical component. Like if you take 2 shots, great night. Downing 2 bottles,
yeah, assed
out, drunk, like, you feel me? Totally punked, right? Like, and you, like the punk is on you, but Ashton Kutcher ain't coming out. You gotta like fucking be a cat. Like, so it's no different. Like people telling me like I ate a whole eighth like 3.5 grams, right? Way too fucking much. Unless you do need like I have eaten like large quantities before, right? Like a specific, like a 6, right? Which is like the slang term for like eating like 6 grams like or more. Call that a God dose. And because it was around Thanksgiving. Like I said, I fucking hate Thanksgiving, bro. Like I fucking do, because it's like, because that was like the word, because, you know, that's the most family oriented time. But like those are the times like, yo, mom, like I'll never forget it. I love like even saying this. Like one of my favorite like like Thanksgiving, like when it came to moms, was when I found out she was in jail, because like for the first time in years, I actually knew where she was on Thanksgiving. So I was like, all right, smooth. All right, you were like, nah, it's just. So like silly shit I still got to deal with, right? But yeah, it was Thanksgiving time. Ate like a 6, thinking like, oh, I'm about to be on my shit. I'm about to be oh yeah, no, all that shit I was trying to avoid, hide. Yeah, it wasn't no fucking hiding. It's just like you just like it's boom, right? It's just had to fucking like come to the forefront.
So basically what you're saying is the mushrooms that you're talking about that give you that high are the same ones in the grocery store. The only difference is the level of consumption.
No, they're different species.
Oh, they're different species.
Correct. Different. It's like a goat, a cat, you know, a dog. Like these are different species of fungi. These are like totally different mechanisms.
How the fuck does someone know the difference between this mushroom that's in the grocery store?
You gotta try it and not deny it, man. You gotta like, there's like, if you go on Netflix and like the magic world of fungi, yeah, there's like fungi consumers from all the world. So this is just documented information, like, oh yeah, if you grow these specific spores, this is going to be the specific result. Or like, oh yeah, if you grow this type of spore, this is the color change. There's a whole entire like this fungi community that is obviously correlated to the psilocybin community, but like people just love fungi.
That's crazy.
Facts.
So mushrooms is your
that's the wave.
That's your wave right now. That's
the career pathway. Because think about the weed game, right, man? It's like this.
Too many people doing it.
When I tell you, I sold like this. I was, when I was like representing LA, and I sold to an old white lady, like who had a synchronatic holistic healing. That was the name of the dispensary, right? Plug it in Carmel by the sea. I was like. Everybody. So like, and don't get me wrong, it was lit. The pandemic, getting essential worker status. You feel me? Like me, doctors, the local store clerks, all the same. But yeah, not everybody.
I mean, well, everyone damn near smokes it, but not even smoking it. Weed is like a medicine now. It heals seizures and back pain and all types of shit. So
off top.
So it's literally everywhere now. But I've never seen a storefront specifically that just has mushrooms. Is mushrooms legal?
So it's currently decriminalized in Oakland and San Francisco.
Okay. So
with that being said, like the thing about like public policy and reform is that it doesn't happen in the suites. It happens in the streets. Mm-hmm. So what's already going on as far as like, pushing like the mental health components and, because mental health is now such a critical, like staple of how people like need to take care of themselves. Like it's like eventually it's going to it could be like eventually, but like up until then, you might as well, just keep working it. Keep building your brand.
Do you think there will ever be a time where you'll start seeing, how dispensaries pop up all the time with weed? Do you think there'll be a time where there's going to be pop-up stores all over the place, but they're just going to be mushrooms?
Oh, it already is actually happening. Now that already did happen. So like off top, right? And this is like one of the worst kept secrets. A lot of cannabis companies, they're already like mass producing like psilocybin or already like rubbing elbows with the psilocybin growers. They just, because they obtain that essential worker status, they just can't be putting random shit that's not like fully like can't do that, right? You wanted legality so bad, you got to play by the rules, right? But hey yo, like this is like the, and
that shit. In order to sell it, it doesn't have to go through like FDA like shit, right?
Well,
as far as like tests, because how when you put like the COVID fucking vaccine, right? For example, it has to go through all these tests before FDA can approve it for mass use to be out in the public. Well, weed doesn't have to go through that, right?
No,
or mushrooms or anything, right?
Weed does. Like, so remember like I know I shouldn't be blanking. I'm just a little far removed, but essentially Metric, that's the name. That's what I was blanking on. Metric is the actual government entity that controls like the cannabis seed to sell release, where it's just documenting and tracking every single component of the seed growth to like the number that was actually cultivated within said growth to who the growth actually went to, which brand and which dispensary. Yeah, it's called metric. And this is a completely regulated process that is completely backlogging and essentially just bone breaking like your mom and pop brands or dispensaries that, you know, like it just takes so much. You really have to hire a metric compliance employee. You have to someone like essentially like if you have HR, like one of their main roles is going to have to be metric compliant. Like that was when I was like coming in, it was like first introduced and everyone was just freaking out. It's still like a big freak out zone. So yeah, it's like, this is a fully documented, like the white man's paper trail is unbeaten.
Yeah.
And he does, like he said, he is accounting from seed to sell, but you know, maybe this girl doesn't get on. Maybe another dog, like allegedly, right? But there's a paper trail. Like and if you do not follow said trail, that is your ass. Because, and this is also documented too, right? Like these, like legally operating dispensaries, legally operating licensed, like cannabis grows. Oh yeah. Didn't pay your taxes, didn't correctly fill out forms. We know where your ass is at. Like we literally know rating your shit. Dirty game.
So it was very, very, this conversation was very, very informative for me because I didn't really know shit about the mushroom game or the weed game because everyone knows I don't smoke, never smoked in my life, never got into it. Mushrooms, never got into it either.
So, believe it or not, I did not want to come empty-handed. I brought you a sample. You don't have to consume or try. So that's about essentially like 0.8 of a gram. That's blue meanie. That's the name of the fungi. It's not the hardest. It's not penis any albino, but you will get like a sensational trip with light visual stimulation, but overall like a euphoric.
Is this recommended for a motherfucker who never done mushrooms?
I would get that. Yes, that's
this
correct.
dosage.
Correct.
So throw this whole thing in my mouth.
Yes, sir.
Eat this whole thing, not just a piece.
Yeah,
and remember, a motherfucker who never done mushrooms. You suggest take this whole thing?
What I would recommend, get like a fruit roll up.
And eat it with something?
Yeah, the taste is a little tart.
Okay. But eat the whole thing in one gulp, one bite.
You need to experience like a full stimulation instead of half stepping.
Well, I appreciate that.
Yes, sir.
If I'm running down the street on the news, nigga naked, everybody know.
Nah, man.
Ace, go find this nigga Ace.
Nah, man. We don't do no. Hey, nah. My dad told me about Philly, about them naked runs. Nah, man. I'm trying to. Yeah, you from the north side too. Nah, man. I took this. It's gonna be a lifelong journey, right? Mm-hmm. That's always gonna have like distractions, rope bumps, but I do understand that this is still my main purpose.
Yeah, this
is still my main mission to like keep bringing like mental health to the forefront. Mm-hmm. And I do also understand like the recreational components as well. Like it's like let's put it this way, right? There are like a lot of people like suffering from not only like anxiety and depression, but like just people want to have a good time, right? But there's like, you drinking, like the nose play. I would prefer honestly like straight up like eat psilocybin. Like that, like you would just like take a gram, and nobody's perfect, right? I'm not asking for perfection, but I am asking for moderation. I am asking for responsibility. So that's why there are substitutes of options that will, make life more prosperous. Mm.
Do you think drugs is a good thing?
Drugs. Like what did Petey Green from Talk to Me say? Drugs are like fucking phenomenal. Like your ass gets shot and you need some fucking Vicodin. Like you're gonna be like, yo, like fucking fill me up. I think that where like the ills of substances come from abuse, come from miseducation, and come from criminalization. I was talking about being a drug war veteran. That shit will always still irk me internally because here you are, right? You have like this fucking substance that was straight up just brought in by the fucking CIA. This is like documented, right? Mm. And because it was brought in, then they fucking criminalized it, right? So if you're selling it, ass is about to get like some crazy ass, like what, 100 to 1, 10 to 1 cocaine versus like crap substance where like you still got brothers in jail, like, because they had a couple grams on it and they had to do like a 20-year bid. Like, that's fucking bullshit. Because then Hunter Biden, like, you feel me? Like, our current president's son got caught with 2 ounces. How the fuck is he not locked up, yo? Yeah, I'll bring some shit like that. That shit is disgusting.
They even had a picture of this nigga sniffing crack.
Do you understand? Like, that's why I see my frustration. Cause cause once again, like, yeah, I'm like, I think of my mother who like didn't have like those type of resources, who didn't have that type of like, like current moderate, sympathetic.
She didn't have the color skin. That's all you gotta say.
Didn't have the tone, but in the sense, like didn't have like, new information that was like, no, this is like more mental health issues that like, we should like be helping people get, reacquainted back with society instead of pushing them further into like, the jail system, which is gonna like keep the family separated, into, fucking what else? Like probationary, like, it sickens me. So I will always fucking like just middle fingers up to like the fucking war on drugs, like all day. Dead ass.
All right. Well, tell people, what are you currently, I mean, if you want to promote anything, if you want to shout out your Instagram or whatever, if people get in contact with you, this is your time to shine.
Off top, LLC Ace, LLC, Ladies Love Cool Ace 2002. Berserkly, we're gonna go berserk. It's gonna be a full entity that's gonna allow my hometown, B-town, the heart, the soil. It's gonna allow me to express it, like, where I came up, where I grew up, and essentially like we're gonna go berserk. We're gonna go berserk because this shit been going on. Vibing off the sense like, ain't shit new. I'm just the first brother, to make it do what it do. So that's why it's gonna be. I'm about to change the game with it. Indeed.
All right. Well, I very much appreciate you coming on Everyday Celebrity Podcast, sharing your story. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a guy that you should tap into. Just to follow, experience. Nigga has a whole lot of life experiences, and and he got the best. For all the YouTube people watching, he got the best shit.
Take her to the room and get some shrooms. You feel me? Vibe out. Hey, I got a little joke before we go. Yeah, peep this. She a 10, but she don't like shrooms. You know why? She only like playing with her nose, so she a 304. You feel?
The fuck?
Order. You feel me?
I don't get that joke.
What you like?
Huh?
She a 10, but she don't do shrooms. I'm like, what you mean? Like, all right, so if she don't, so what's her? What are you rating her? Like, because you're not. It's like the meme where it's like he's a 10, but he lives at his mom's house, so it's like,
oh, okay, yeah.
maybe like a 6. Like, how tall is he? Right? So it's like she's a 10, but she don't do shrooms. I was like, you know what? She only play with her nose, so she a 304.
And ladies and gentlemen, this is Everyday Celebrity Podcast, and we are out. You.